Number 15. Une référence de Burger King, but lettuce. You know, the last thing you want on your Burger King, this is a foot fungus that some idiots have done. And then got fired from their job. Hello, setting up the chat real quick. Oh no, this game that is totally not my game. Yeah. No, but to be honest, I changed a bit of my things. I added some walk speed, jump power button, and how much it says how much walk speed you have. So instead of like having to get to figure out, instead you give me yourselves jump power because something I might add an item. Health because yeah, I decided to move the old health. Accidentally pressed F12, which keeps doing videos. I hate accidentally pressing F12. The 2000-volt pickle.
This is Codecademy.
Recently, I unlocked a new achievement in life, a midlife crisis, when I came to the realization that I've spent most of my adult life writing code, and most of that code is total garbage. It's code that never saw the light of a production server and was either abandoned, refactored, or left to rot in the graveyard of GitHub. As I reflected upon this further, I realized that many of the best practices, the hot game-changing frameworks, and the perfect folder structures didn't actually matter to the end user. I wasted countless hours chasing programming dragons that made me feel more productive, but ultimately led nowhere. In today's video, we'll debunk 9 smart ideas that waste your time as a programmer, and for each myth, we'll look at how it lures you in, why it's actually a trap, and most importantly, how to not do the things that I've done. Now, one of the main goals of this channel is to show you the latest tech you need to use to be relevant, but it's actually a myth that you need to use the latest tech to be relevant. In fact, you might even become more hireable by focusing on old dinosaur technologies, like WordPress and PHP still runs most of the web applications out there. Java runs most of the enterprise world, most databases are SQL-based, and C++ runs most of the low-level systems. However, there are shiny new replacements for tech like this, including Next.js, Kotlin, NoSQL, and Rust. And the lure is a massive feeling of FOMO if you're not mastering the bleeding edge of these so-called superior technologies. To be clear, I'm not discouraging you from learning these, they're awesome, but it's important to understand that most of the real world, where the jobs exist, are not going to change their dinosaur tech stacks anytime soon. The critical banking systems still run on COBOL, and Java will still be powering 3 billion devices long after everybody watching this is dead. Most CTOs are smart enough to know that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Here's a real-life example. A few years ago, engineers from Twitter released a hot new database called Fauna. It was a pretty solid product, and I even made a video about it, but the technology was proprietary, VC-funded, and like most startups, the business failed recently. They have no choice but to shut down their servers, and if you were an early adopter, you're now screwed, and would have been much better off with a boring SQL database. Adopting tech too early is one thing, but adhering to programming dogma can waste even more time. The problem with programming is that there are many different ways to solve the same problem, but some people out there believe that there's only one true way to write code. Some common cults out there include the object-oriented purists and the functional programming extremists. I've been a member of both cults and have learned a lot from them, but dedicating your entire life to just one of them is a waste of time. I mostly code in JavaScript, which is a multi-paradigm language that can satisfy all of these cults. In 2018, functional
2018. In 2018. Cu sacul legat în spate cu armele în mâini. Fie din cutare sau cerul noroc, fie voinițoare, noi mergem voios. Fie din cutare sau cerul noroc, fie voinițoare, noi mergem voios. Drum bun, topa bate, drum bun la plămâni. Cu sacul legat în spate cu armele în mâini. Fie din cutare sau cerul noroc, fie voinițoare, noi mergem voios. Fie din cutare sau cerul noroc, fie voinițoare, noi mergem voios. Drum bun, topa bate, drum bun la plămâni. Cu sacul Romania. Now I think is like I'll finish this thing in the script because it just breaks with this weight 0.1. So I fixed it by just doing terms like 0.2 and we're just putting the thing inside of it, and it might be resource heavy if there's like way too many players.
Programming was having a renaissance in web development. Back then, if you used classes in your code, you were literally Hitler. And I found myself bending over backwards to try to do everything in the most functional way possible. No mutable state and higher order functions everywhere. But a few years later, after the spell wore off, I eventually realized that classes can be pretty useful. And my code today often includes a combination of things I've learned from both of these tools. But another time waster to watch out for is clean code, which comes from a legendary book written by Uncle Bob Martin, known as the Handbook for Agile Software Craftsmanship. Most of the advice in this book is great. Use meaningful names, write small functions, use consistent formatting, and so on. But some of the advice is a little more nuanced, like the dry principle of don't repeat yourself, which means you shouldn't duplicate or write the same code over and over again. And on the surface, that seems like a good idea. But also when you try too hard to keep things clean, you might end up with an endless layer of wrappers, interfaces, and pointless indirection. It's paralysis by analysis, and you end up spending more time refactoring than building actual features that people want. I think a better acronym would be RUG. Repeat until good. Duplicate code at first, and then pull it into a single abstraction after the repetition becomes painful. Clean code also recommends test-driven development, and testing can be extremely valuable, but it's a myth that 100% test coverage means that your code is well protected. Your boss, who has no programming experience, is likely a big fan of code coverage tooling that will show how much of your source code is executed when a test suite is run. It's interesting, but optimizing for 100% coverage is often a huge waste of time, and can often be misleading, because high coverage does not equal high quality. Optimizing for coverage encourages developers to write pointless tests that just touch lines and not catch real bugs. And even worse than wasting time, it provides a false sense of security. And then on top of that, it makes your CI build even slower, which is going to cost you more money. When it comes to test coverage, it's quality, not quantity that matters. But one thing that truly must matter is performance. Well, actually, it's a myth that you should always optimize for performance. Yet another time waster is benchmarking and optimizing code that just doesn't run at the scale to justify those optimizations. It's far more important to make sure that your code is correct, and then only optimize for performance when it becomes painfully obvious that your code sucks in production. On a similar note, you also don't need to optimize your cloud infrastructure like you're about to scale like Facebook. Like I used to think that I needed this complex serverless microservice architecture with global sharding and edge caching, but it turns out that one small VPS is perfectly fine for my 5 users. And then finally, that brings us to the elephant in the room, the myth that AI is about to replace all programmers soon. There's some awesome AI code writing tools out there.
AI is garbage.
But it's becoming more and more clear that many programmers are now wasting a bunch of time relying too much on AI. For example, Claude Sonnet 3.7 is really good at writing code, but it's also notoriously verbose. You might ask it to build a simple website, and it'll just randomly engineer some new JavaScript framework from scratch. And because you forgot how to write code, you'll just approve it and move on with your life. AI programming tools are both the greatest productivity booster I've ever seen in my life, but when used improperly, they can also be the biggest time waster. The key to success is to have a solid foundation in problem solving, and you can start building that foundation for free today thanks to this video sponsor, Brilliant. A hard
True. This entire game. Romania. Fucking thing. Oh, what the fuck is this? With the single item. This is fucking reference to the Item Asylum. Item Asylum admin. I know. Also known as Romania, which is kind of like the same thing, except a bit, as I say, such stuff with.
Ow! That was a very loud noise. Bro! What?
The one. Mario. Look at this.
Hot mayonnaise!
Speed. Bow. Bow.
Give me something great.
How about this is bow but better?
Give me something great. Give me something great.
The thing is, it doesn't matter. I told you if I want to cook
Drum bum drum bum drum ba ba
it,
de
it
drum bum rap drum bum. Sa kulay kat.
you get
Drum
all
bum
the
drum bum
more
drum ba ba de drum bum rap drum bum. Sa kulay kat des mate kuwa kelen bum. Biye di kusale sa terun.
Give me something great. Give me something great.
Drum bum drum ba ba de drum bum rap drum bum. Sa kulay kat des mate kuwa kelen bum. Biye di kusale sa terun.
the evil gun.
Drum bum ba ba de drum bum rap drum bum. Sa kulay kat des mate kuwa kelen bum. Biye di kusale sa terun noron. Biye bani sale bai me de koyon. Biye di kusale sa terun noron. Biye bani sale bai me de koyon. Drum bum ba ba de drum bum rap drum bum. Sa kulay
Firefall. Actually, but Firefall. I don't know. Speed item. Sound kind of Mr. Fire. Yeah, I just yeeted it. I wow. Energy fire. This week I'm trying to get the Ultra Instinct.
Hi Roblox, wanna eat some chicken? Time to eat some chicken. Stop, dude.
axe. Silent ahead. Cancel. Oh, you being an idiot. Yo, Minecraft loading. And it's getting hit by the hills.
Okay, let me think. Yeah, we do actually have an extra seat, but that means only one of you guys can go. I have a level 3 Lechi that does over 200 damage. Well, I have a Captain level 4 with great defense and... Whoa, what the hell are you guys doing? How are your voices not match your mouth? Oh, we were just arguing about Guardian Chronicles, the most popular game out now on all devices. Not a single person plays that game, I've never even heard of it! Wait, but I thought everyone plays Guardian Chronicles. It's like a new thing now. Yeah. No, literally ask him when he wants to go when you start arguing about Guardian Chronicles and I don't even know what it's called! Yeah, but this game's all I have. Every day, every night, it's all I can think about. This game's my life! And we're both very passionate about it. Alright guys, 15 more minutes. Make sure you keep your eyes on your own paper and focus on your work. Yo, you got number 5 on me, it's supposed to be 10. No, it's not. It's actually done. It has to be 12. No, it is 10 because you took right here. You're not supposed to do it there. You're such an idiot. I have a level 500 Tail Whip, which you stand no chance against. Well, I have a Flame Fox at level 400 that can repel any of your attacks. So you guys were cheating during a test and then randomly pulled out your phones and started arguing about a video game? Look, we're really sorry. It won't happen again. Okay, well, you both got detention after school. Wait, I can't get detention. There has to be another way. Another way? You guys got a level 10. No,
Gérez tous vos projets d'équipe.
ChatGPT.
Alright, so assuming you all did your reading, what I now want you to do is complete the activity I posted for today. You can either work with a partner or just do it by yourself like a loser. Well, you're the only one I know here. Alright, let's do it then. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't read a single page last night. I had a bad case of the Instagram reel. Nah, I feel that. I didn't read that much, but I kinda scanned through it enough. Okay, let me pull this up. Question 1. Between Sam and Joe, who ended up winning the blue ribbon? Okay, I believe that was Joe. It was Joe. Yeah, that. Oh, you just looked it up. Yup, exactly what I didn't do the reading. Every answer can be found here. Okay, just like, I hope you're not constantly relying on that, or else it'll literally rot your brain. Like real shit. No, look, I only use it when I don't know an answer. It's the same thing as Google. Alright, that's fair, whatever. Okay, question 2. Based off of that, who ended up with the red ribbon? Oh, well, now just be Sam. Yeah, exactly. There's no way you need to look that up. I already told you. I didn't read the book. You didn't need to read anything. Just process of elimination. Use your brain. I feel use my brain already. It's 8 in the morning. I'm tired. I just want to go on. Okay, fine. Third question. In your opinion, explain whether friendship or family is more important. Okay. I think that... Motherfucker. This is your opinion, not the damn robot. I don't care. Alright, everyone, it's 9 o'clock. Exam starts now. If I get you on your phone, that's an automatic 0. Okay, deep breath. You got this. No. What is John doing, bro? It's not even worth the risk. These are complex physics problems. The AI can't even solve yet. He's using AI to write his name down. Our generation's cooked, bro. Okay, well, seeing that you've got a high fever, a headache, and a cough, it appears you have a common cold. What? Doctor, this is something much more serious than just a cold. My skin's turning green. What do I do? I don't know. You don't know? I'm paying all this health insurance and you don't know? I'm so depressed and alone, but then I feel like my problems aren't valid enough for people to care. It's okay. All you gotta do is just take a deep breath, relax, and everything will be... Are you reading from a prompt? No, I am not reading from a prompt. I don't know. So dumb, bro. I can't find a job because everything's just replaced by AI. Yeah, really? Yeah, I guess now we can both be unemployed. The future is now. So introducing Cal, your cyber artificial living tool. Oh, Jesus Christ, what is this shit now? Cal is a multi-system engineer program that you can install to make your own house your best friend. It's more than just your basic Alexa because it's far from basic. Hey, Cal, make me an egg, will ya? What the hell? What the hell is correct? Because Cal can do anything you ask it. Cal, could you reply this email for me? Already? Shoot, I'm not Cal, you got me. Thanks, man. Alright, Cal. Lock up. The future is now, and now is the future. Call today, and it may be the last call you'll ever need to make. It's just the opinion of laziness. Who's actually buying this? Hi, I was just wondering if you still had any available at this time. Are we done? Oh, hey there, Grant. So you're still mowing your lawn the traditional way. Hey, Cal, laser lawn. What? There we are. Good as new. Oh, the actual... Cal, can I get some chips? Oh, wait, but I like the OG one, but... Gosh, my gosh, you're just a sweat. Go outside. You fucking suck. Cal, take over. Oh, well, now you're gonna get the controls for your older brother? Help! Help! Alright, it's over bed. Cal, send alarm for... Cal, lock the door. Cal, do you hear me? Cal, do you hear me? Cal! And that, ladies and gentlemen, represents the dangers of artificial intelligence, and it will not be tolerated in my classroom. Now, as you've known your essays were due this morning, as I'll come around and collect them now. Thank you, Jess. That's great. Thank you, John. John, sing me up a clap.
You can have man. Okay, let's create a new world and then just set it to hardcore by BQ, which is better question. This is it just took the thing. Oh, to go to hell.
Yeah, money on me. Overflow cash like I'm drowning at sea. No, wait, hold on, listen. Okay. And there's also sped up.
I have so much money, I can buy a yacht. I have so much money, I can buy another yacht.
Alright, I still like it, but definitely not as good as the original. Yeah, alright, let's get this thing out. And there's reverse too. What? I said there's also a reverse one. Oh, you mean you put Drake's part first and then it switches to you. I like the way you think. No, I mean literally reverse. Like it's backwards. I'm so good. Alright, let me just play it. You'll see. This is terrible. Why would anybody listen to this? No, I want to capitalize on the opportunity. Like it's just, what harm does it do? It's just another song. Alright, fine, whatever, keep it in. Let's get this out now. And so wait, I forgot sideways. Sideways. What the fuck is sideways? Yeah, I was just about to explain it. So normally the track goes from side to side, but what if it went from top to bottom, making this only like 2 seconds long? Why? This is so stupid. I can't do this. Please, just get this release. I need to put in the 45-degree angle version now. Hey, wait, where you go?
Yeah, say that you a lesbian girl, me too. Yeah, say that you a lesbian girl, me too. Yeah, say that you a lesbian girl.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I'm kind of convinced that this book series is the mind of an insane human. And as a kid, I thought this was just a funny book about a middle schooler that gets up to a bunch of shenanigans, but no. As an adult now, I see it all. And I came to the realization that this is the most dysfunctional family I have ever seen. Roderick is surprisingly the most normal out of all of them, which is crazy. And as a kid, I always saw Roderick as the villain. I just saw him as the mean older brother that would always pick on Greg. And I would always root for Greg, okay? I was the #1 Greg heavily.
Yeah.
I think Discord connections are a bit broken, to put it lightly, because I was sent this Discord profile that has a bunch of TikTok connections to famous people. I don't know who any of these people are, but we have people like Mr. Beast with a verified connection. And when you click on this profile connection, it leads you to the actual Mr. Beast TikTok account. Now, the second I was sent this profile, I knew I was in for an absolute roller coaster because I had people spamming my DMs asking me to look into it so they can figure out how to do it. And I've also had people in their server say, don't tell NTTS or he'll ruin it. So I've decided to look after my role model, Hannah Montana, and do the best of both worlds by both explaining how it works and ruining it all at the same time. Now, just before we get started, I assume most of my viewers aren't stupid enough to understand this whole entire username thing, so I'll explain it to you. There are idiots on Discord that care about having usernames that impersonate Travis Scott or are just short things like 8, or when people's egos are extremely frail, they'll put in connections like rich to flex to their Discord friends that they are rich. Now, I could jokingly say that I don't understand this whole entire thing, but I have Fortnite feed on my profile. So now that we all have the brain rot and intelligence of a 14-year-old to open command prompt for the first time, let me explain how this TikTok connection method exploit thing works. When you go to change your username from something stupid like Doug Dimmadomer to not no text to speech, and you click on save and confirm, you'll notice on the right here, I had the wrong thing selected, I'm a mistake. Man, I f***ed it up. But whenever you edit your profile on TikTok, whether it be changing your bio or changing your username, if you go to your network tab, you'll see that there is a network request to TikTok's API to change your profile. Basically, your computer is sending TikTok a message to change your username or change your bio. And if we click on this network request and we look at the request URL, it goes to TikTok's API. But there's someone who is actually pretty smart. I'll give them credit. But someone figured out that there is an old version of TikTok's API. You see, with the old version of TikTok's API, what you could do is you can put in any username that you want. So you could do something like Discord, but it's going to tell you that the username is taken. But if you add just a whole bunch of spaces, again, the person that figured this out don't even know how you did it, but if you add a whole bunch of spaces and then add a random letter, according to TikTok's old API, this is a completely new username, which will allow you to save it as your username. But why? Now, I did my job and I asked around, and it turns out we have a TikTok history lesson. Yay. With TikTok back in its glory days, where you'd actually get bullied if you were on it, you could say your username to have spaces. But then TikTok pulled a Discord moment and forced people to change their usernames. There's Reddit threads from 4 years ago talking about how TikTok is forcing people to change their username. And it turns out if you do this exploit and you go to your TikTok account and you try changing the username, TikTok will give you the same pop-up telling you that you're using an old username, which means that this whole entire system, it is confirmed that it is using an old API to give you an old username. However, this happened 4 years ago, back when I still had my will to live. In between then and now, TikTok added a system that will automatically shrink your username to 24 characters and remove any spaces, which means that your TikTok account is now called Discord. And what that allows you to do is that if you go back to Discord and you go into your user settings, if you go to your connections, you can now connect your TikTok profile, which will allow you to connect your TikTok account to Discord with the username Discord, which is how people get connections like this. Now, in reality, spoofing your TikTok username to be something like Discord isn't done through TikTok's website, but instead it's done through a Python script. And this Python code uses an algorithm copied from GitHub to create Xchronos and Xgorgon headers to successfully be able to change your username with the old API. Half of you blanked out there. Basically, this script is sophisticated. Most normal people wouldn't figure it out, which means for most normal people, instead of trying to figure it out, they're just going to copy and download a program that does this for them. Now, there is a Discord server filled with people that are actually on Discord every waking hour of their life. Their dedication is impressive. That claims to give you a program that will do all this connection stuff so you can get whatever profile connection you want on your Discord account. Now, here's the thing. Since this exploit does break TikTok's terms of service, this Discord server technically breaks Discord's terms of service, and also Discord doesn't want people abusing this feature so that they have weird profile connections because, again, it could be used for scamming. So chances are Discord is going to terminate the server, and I'll be blamed for it like usual. I'm coping at this point. But if the server gets terminated, what someone can do if they really want to ruin people's day is they can steal that invite link to impersonate the server and get you to download or run some malware. But even if the server doesn't get terminated, or you feel like you're getting a 100% safe TikTok connection method, I would still not use it for 3 big reasons. Now, the first reason is common sense. I've seen both this program in definitely not sketchy exe files, which this should never have to be an exe file, but I've also seen this in Python scripts. And the thing with running any sort of code on the internet is that you need to check every single part of the code and make sure it's not malware. I feel like a broken record at this point, but time and time again, I will see code that works and that is safe, but then the programs get so popular where the developer adds some malware to exit scam a whole bunch of people. But given the room temperature IQ of some of these people that want these profile connections, scammers will capitalize on that and will just spam malware everywhere to try and hack these stupid kids. And a little bit of a side note, I was doing my research about this and seeing where it all came from, and there are people that are trying to sell this exploit for like $5 up to $50. If you're paying $5 to get a profile connection on your Discord account, then I really don't know what's wrong with you. $5 could get some good ice cream. But the second reason I wouldn't even bother with this exploit is that it's being patched as I speak. Like TikTok is completely aware of this, and I mean chances are by the time this video comes out, it's already patched, which means if you download some risky file that hacks your computer computer, even if it does work and give you malware, well, it won't work because TikTok patched it. And it also turns out that TikTok is starting to ban any account that abuses this exploit. Who could have seen this coming? Yeah, someone that I've been talking to about this exploit that gave me a lot of information. You know who you are. You're awesome. They sent me a link to this TikTok by someone whose username was bro. Pretty good indicator they used the exploit. We can see from the thumbnail that they're complaining about how their TikTok account, Draco, I guess they're a Harry Potter fan, got banned. So TikTok is going through all these accounts and banning them. And if I actually try going to this TikTok, well, you'll notice that the video is currently unavailable. So the other TikTok account named bro, it's gone. Rest in peace, soldier. You died a very predictable death. But the third and final reason, and honestly the biggest reason why you should not do this exploit, is the fact that Discord is going to remove all these connections. All these people spending all their time making these TikTok alt accounts to get the stupidest usernames on the planet, they're going to get removed because there's been plenty of connection bugs that Discord has had where people have fake usernames with YouTube or like 1,000 profile connections, and like clockwork, every single time Discord will just clear out all these connections and all this dude's hard work, it gets removed. Anyways, gamers,
you up from daycare today. Mind you, he's biracial but looks like a white kid. They asked him if he knew who I was, and why did this man look me dead in my face and say he didn't know me? And then people ready to call the cops on me. That is crazy. This honestly belongs in the Kids Are Evil subreddit. It's just too bad I went on that subreddit to try and make a video because that's what originally this video was going to be, and it got banned. The subreddit got banned, dude. They say they're trying to knock me down, man. How am I going to make my Reddit videos if all these subreddits are getting banned? Once when I was 9, my teacher told me to write the most beautiful love story I could imagine, and I wrote a story about a shark and a horse who fell in love, and the horse jumped into the sea to be with the shark, but it drowned and died, and the shark was so sad that it also died. The teacher called my parents. They're kind of like Shakespeare, you know what I mean? That's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet tragedy type story. Some of
Alright. Welcome to the Minecraft. Get the phone. Take everything. Steal. Take it to life. Yo, I got fucking diamond tools. Let me just show you my diamond tools and I gambled somehow. It was my first fucking chest. Let me just get all my tools and minus sand. This is a bit overkill. This is just overkill. I have a good brass wool for a fast kill, but it will be beaten up or beaten by another one. Get wood. These. Boom. Let's make cups. I'm gonna try some things, okay? The monkeys. Wow, emotes. To left. Okay, there's giant. There's giant. Hey, there's dead giant. Let me just overkill my tree because yes. The heat is catching up. Now that's Truxem. And you like cool down. 3 seconds. 10 seconds. Radius 3 blocks. Chance 25. Is it 10 tick? So wait, if it's 10, no, it must be 10 seconds. And that's all just said some nice. On the hell no. Calling it hell because hell is actually hell. Let me just get my free sand. I'm gonna collect all of this and turn all of this into sand. God, it's all outside. Get inside. Hey, cool, I'm safe here, so. But we have 5 blocks of sticks. Packets. Yes. We want to draw a tree right now because you hate waiting, then use the bone meal. The quest. Let me make a tossing table and then immediately boost it to the station. I'm just gonna take a lot of stuff and just gonna I'm short. I'm too long. Yeet. Stencil table, cardboard, tool station. Chest. Pardon, chest. There's only one type of pardon chest, to be honest. Fine. So we have more tables for the quest, and well, let's actually move this. And set up. So we want base. So tool station, stencil table, cardboard, cutting chest. And now they can all use the things. Spikes. Yeah, the spikes. Okay, the spikes again. Not top. Only kill enemy food. Well, which it's useful, but you need block of diamond, which no, don't have. And those mob_guiding_utils. But extra utilities too have a recipe. What's wood? I'm breaking 10. Yes, let me just craft a wooden sword and so many this. Oh, let's make some spike. Yeah, we have some spikes. That means we can now kill them. And now we're gonna make some the girly game. Yes, girly game. So the first thing we want to do is a hammer, a crook, the game. What's a crook? Then we're gonna make 2 sieves. A normal sieve. God, it's getting daughter. I hate this. But it's free sand though. Yeah, this is a way to get. It's the freest sand of my life. It's a mines. Yeah. We're gonna plant another tree. Oh, it's a tiny. And we're gonna infest the leaves. They just slowly. I think 1 in each corner should speed it up. Okay. Yeah, this is enough. Wood spikes does not kill them. Gold spikes they only give XP. Diamonds. Oh boy, you get the items. And do this all the infecting. Right, we gotta get something. Alright, yeah, that's probably enough. We're just gonna mine the entire tree and then mine the entire thing. Fast! Why? So that we have enough stuff. An heavy oak seed. Done! Now let's get some seeds. Now, I'm not playing the old version because of how hard it is, but yeah. Compressed string. Mike Dong by Mike Dongles. Yes, Mike Dongles. Compressed string. And it's only 8 strings, so you can make 64 is 8 times 8. It's a lot. So let's make a ladder. Alright, let's put this. And let's use our wooden hammer. Which might sound garbage, but it is. But look at this. Very, very beautiful. I got Tyra and wireframe. Alright, mobs are spawning. Just as. Okay, they hurt. In any side. Oh, let's open up the outside. Only one wide mobs can spawn. So they can go in there. Now I got my ladders back. I'm gonna do this, then this. Alright, mobs can spawn here. This way. Right. To be honest, there's a lot of mobs outside. Mobs! Open up! Music to my ears. This guy has spoons. What the fuck? Look at that, we're only at 8 XP. I'm doing nothing. This spear died. Let me just punch. Yes. Punch. Break. Yeah, there's a mob outside, but I have diamond sword, diamond pickaxe, diamond axe, and a diamond shovel that I'm not using because what if I gotta go eat? I'm back and I'm doing the Omega kill. Music to my fucking ears. Yeah. Oh snap! Wait, it's a more expensive version? I was doing the more expensive one because, oh. Yeah, I'm needing this shit. I almost died because of that. I gotta have my fucking Omega face. Another one. How many am I gonna? I don't know. Hold up. What? Yo, I got a sword! That's it, everything that I got. Except for the duck. We get some food. We got a potato. Nice. We got some apples. We got way too much hard flesh. And we got 9 swords. We're gonna use the weaker version so that I don't waste too much durability. And mom has Ow! Gold booty. Oh. Dude. Hell yeah, we're rich. Let's go. I can mine this basically with just a pickaxe. Yeah, let me just mine this with a fucking pickaxe because yes. Companion cube. I need companion cube. We did not get some successful loot, but we got a lot of kills. And we're getting a lot of iron. 5. We have 5 iron pieces right now. Yep, we have actually just 5 iron pieces. Iron ore chunk. Never mind. We have not way too much stuff. Let's just yeet everything in there. We cannot use this. We're gonna take my boot. Pathfinding. He struggled a lot just to get there. And there you go. What the hell? We got lots of goodies. We got a diamond sword from gambling. We got 2 iron swords. One is almost broken. One is very good. Yeah. Let's take some saplings. We don't need a shovel because the pickaxe works fine. Yes. Pickaxe works fine. Okay, we got a new cool dirt. Now you have 2 trees instead of 1. We have XP. We have all of this. We can get 2 melting mosses, which is incredible. And yeah, I think spending days and nights just doing that is very good. Oh. Stage 1. Done. Alright, now let's mine this. And I'm overheating. Let's make a portable crafting table real quick. Alright, here's a Whopper. Let's place this down. I was overheating because the heat. Why is the next good for this? How is the next good for this? Anyways, they can do this next thing. Then moving things around. We can get one of these, 3 energies, one of these, or the gambler. We can get an iron sword, 2 gamblers, or an iron mesh. Iron meshes. I think iron mesh is way better. To be honest. Automation. Yeah, we gotta start automating this thing in early game. And then the 2 rest can turn into 2 chests. Wow, 2 chests, So you can place some rotten flesh in there, it'll go down, it'll fill this thing up. We can do this. We have to go fast now because of the heat. And when it's done, we can use it here. Now to cool down a little bit. Because of the heat, yes, I'm starting to get hypothermia.
Animal. Pig of law.
I adore Petscop. It's one of my personal favorite unfiction series, practically a pioneer of its genre. There's a reason people say there will never be another Petscop, because to an extent, it's true. Some people have gotten close, but no cigar. I think people's fascination with Petscop is at least in part due to the way the story is told. It's easy to engage with what's available, because it's very ambient. Most of it, you're left with nothing but your own thoughts, and what's right in front of you. It gives your brain time to focus to try and piece the story together, and the times you just simply can't. There's a friend waiting for you, in the form of the main character, Paul. You're never fully alone, even when you think you are. Despite this short introduction, the rest of the video isn't on Petscop. I want to make this section very brief because I am planning on talking about it sometime in the future. Finish what others can never do. However, this is about something closely connected to the series, and that is through the creator, Tony Domenico. Late last year, Tony released a project into the wild, that project being 3D Workers Island, self-described as a short horror story about a screensaver, told through the means of glorified screenshots, spanning 301 in length. I recommend you check it out for yourself first before you continue watching the rest of this video. As with most things, this is best experience on your own. I do understand if you are put off by the way the story is presented. It is a bit out there, all things considered. So, I propose a compromise. For sections that would work better without me paraphrasing towards your general direction, I will instead read directly from the source, sort of like an audiobook, but with a little bit of visual feedback to...
I'm cooled off. We have dirt. Drinking dirt. I'm drinking some water right now. And it's actually good to drink. And done. Quest complete. 5 dirt. Life blood crystal. I'm stronger. Up slightly stronger. I can either choose to get 2 lava mill, 2 western, and a loot chest, or 3 loot chests. I can either get 3 gaming stuff for 1. And the next B. I only got a Tinker Pow, which. So I decided to automate making dirt because I need to make some dirt. Yeet! Look at how it's easy. I can do anything other than waiting, and then what will be done. And it's just update quest, which just loads stuff. Anyways, well, gathering supplies. Going down, we can get an early game weapon, which we can't. We can get more heat potions. You can get infested leaves from now. But we're getting water. Why water? Clay. We need clay. Fall off stuff. Oh yeah, it says we destroy the environment. And by that I mean the 1 tree. As the environment is 1 tree. Anyways, when we beat the water quest, we'll get something beautiful. And that thing is the canteen. Now the canteen has one use, and it's to give you infinite water. Well, infinitely drinkable water. Because you can normally not drink water from its source. Okay, you have to grind for the water. Now you can either do it the simple way. Now Tough with Nails, the mod that we're doing, that's in the mod pack, is used for a lot of stuff. Look at this. Look at how much dirt we're doing. Alright, we got Let There Be Light. Carrots, stones. It uses a lot of stuff. Graves. What the? Oh, basic hand to base crank. Oh, basic thing. The stone great sword, which requires a handle, which requires wool, which requires strength. Yeah. Alright, there's mobs, a lot of mobs outside. Let's remove the head, and let's get the mobs angry. The mob angry. They're not angry right now. Oh yeah, we're still making dirt. Alright, let's get some normal dirt. And let's get some stuff. That's a witch. I think we got it a little bit enough. We got a lot of stuff that we need. We also gonna make a oak crucible, and we're gonna do the same thing here. Here's a laboratory tile. Yeah. And automation again. A whopper. Now that we can make a new chest, and we can put some stuff in here. But I don't have too much stuff, so let's see if like like let's keep 2 seconds. Yep, that's how you make water in here. Hey guys, can you see me? That's a witch! Oh, it fell! Ah, I couldn't stand there. Bunny. Oh my fucking god! It's just rained. Oh, I just broke. It's a slime. Punch it. I died. What's that slime? Let's eat some of those. Let's add 2 more. And we have 2 dirt. Nice. 2 dirty dirt. 2 dirty dirt. Let's make our furnace. And that's like here. We cannot access it. That's the side. We do not have to go outside. God! Yeah, we got first iron. I think we don't even have yet iron. Map draft. Zombie. 2.5% chance. Golems. We can't kill golems. Well, this guy has 75 HP. He's dead. Give me your life, blood. Another day, another hammer, and another mining station that is totally not nothing. And we got grass, we got pumpkin, we got carrots, we got melon, carrot seed. Ah yes, I sure love carrot seed. Sugar cane seed. This would be near water. Oh yes. Potato. We gotta get our food source done real quick because, yeah, I don't think my food source is gonna be good for the rest of the playthrough. We need better food. Can I fill this with this? No, it's only useful for dirt. And I have to wait for the rest of the day. Which is kind of short now because of how much kills I've done. I don't get XP, it's garbage. Okay, I gotta yeet to this. Nice! Got carrots. Do I have multiple carrots if I have? I'm just gonna do nothing. No, but I have 2 potatoes. I'm gonna fill my food bunker real quick. Nom 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 nom. Alright, cool. Every mob is gonna die, right? They'll still oh. Copa's zombie burnt to death. I can't go outside. Yes, indeed, I can't go outside because I got the food and fight them all. Die! Oh god, that's a witch. That's a zombie villager. Idiot. That's you. I have to survive you. I have an idea. I have an idea. It's open. Oh, fuck. Here's the thing. We're gonna kill him. I killed a witch. I'll take this apple. Die. I got a pushing feeling. I actually opened my door. They really want to get in, huh? You guys really want to get in? I am stuck in here until I can get out. I need to get out. Let's see. My sword. Oh shit, I'm dying. I'm gonna die. Oh shit.
To keep you engaged. Now, with introductions out of the way, let's take a read.
This video has been made possible by Manscaped.com. The Gore Pack with hand off plus free shipping. Trust.
"3D Workers Island" begins with a short prelude.
We're back in the late 90s, browsing a website going by the name 3dwi.scr discovery pages. By the looks of the window, the computer we're using seems to be running Windows 98, the then newest Windows operating system. Whoever we may be, we've seemingly taken an interest into whatever this site is fascinated with. As we take a read, wondering,
what is 3dwi.scr? 3dwi.scr is a freeware screensaver. The full title is 3D Workers Island, but most of us prefer to use its file name instead, pronounced 3D Whisker. In 3D Workers Island, 6 characters interact on a tiny island, with complex and unpredictable results. Every session tells a different story of the island. Many have found it to be compelling on levels both technical and emotional. T2's Top Software give it a 10 out of 10 score and wrote about its characters. You will find yourself relating to them and understanding them. They may even confound you and anger you at times. The original source of the program is unknown. It was discovered at 3D Screensaver's Palace, one of the many aggregates of screensaver programs appropriated from sources across the internet. The owner of that website, by his own admission, sourced it from a similar screensaver aggregate and could not recall which one. It has not been found. The events that occur in 3D Whisker are not scripted. They unfold dynamically, and every session is different, which means you are guaranteed to see things that none of us has seen before. If you discover anything interesting or important that has not been recorded here or discussed on the forum, feel free to send us an email or create a thread on the forum asking about it, but please do not treat this as a place for tall tales. Check out the overview page for a more detailed introduction. 3D Whisker Discovery Pages was created by me, Pat Lawler, or P. Lawler, and the technical side is largely run by Slinger. Welcome. This installation program will install 3D Workers Island. Thank you for installing my program. Press the next button to start the installation. You can press the cancel button now if you do not want to install 3D Workers Island at this time. Installation completed. The installation of 3D Workers Island has been successfully completed. If you enjoy 3D Workers Island, please spread the word online. It would be much appreciated. Also consider reading the readme.txt file because it includes a lot of interesting and useful information about the screensaver. Press the finish button to exit this installation. 3D Workers Island Screensaver. 3D Workers Island is an experimental 3D simulation screensaver for PCs with advanced worker simulation. Get to know the characters. There are 6 characters on the island. Their names are Amber, Holland, Pat, Joe, Grace, Rebecca. To find out who's who, reference the character card that appears on startup. Worker simulation. Workers are an approach to computation. 3D Workers Island takes advantage of resources in the world. Welcome to the world in the computer. This technology is...
This is when we are first introduced to the 2 main ways the story is told. The 3D Whisker Discovery Boards, a forum centered around discussing the eponymous screensaver, and 3D Workers Island itself, shown through a collection of frames. Although this may be how it looks and functions to someone actually using it. Around frame 62 is when we see the first sign of something more sinister, hiding beneath the surface, given in the form of a personal anecdote.
I keep hearing the stories about this thing, but so far, it's boring. I don't get it. I want to know what you guys are doing because I'm just starting at the program and watching it and nothing is happening. The people are standing around, sitting around, looking around, walking around. They don't have faces, so I don't know what they're feeling or thinking. I don't know. What's going on here, guys? Which characters are you talking about? You know, some people have worked hard enough in their lives and deserve a rest already. No, but seriously, what do you mean? I see plenty of activity on the island. I do feel a twinge of annoyance when I see a character like Amber sitting around. I want to tell her, hey, you're young. Do something. Actually, it does become entertaining over time. You just have to keep watching. I think...
Thank you, mama. I survived the day for one reason. And one reason only. Survival. Alright, that's in my duper mega cup. Also. Oh guys, I actually destroyed it. Bob was really good old fashioned way of slow. To be honest, the thing I did, it's a very speedy and fast. God, this thing sucks. I ate it 3 times. And now 0. And also, this is just garbage. Yeet, yeet, yeet. Let's see the things I got. Let's get the wood. I don't want the booties. I just want my fun. Alright, how much saplings? 25! 5, yeet.
I think you'll be surprised by what you see, but you do have to be kind of open to it. You have to be cool. Be cool, and things will be shown to you. I love this screensaver. It's so fucked up.
Now, when I say sinister, I don't mean something like a jump scare showing up. I mean the words written hold more than what meets the eye. From here on out, we have to take what's written with a grain of salt. Not everyone will experience or see the same things as others, but that doesn't mean people can't just lie about what they find. As of now, we don't know what this program is capable of, if it's capable of anything. We just have to be a little bit careful and tread with caution. Taking a break from the forum, we get to see the main distributor of 3D Workers Island, that being 3D Screensavers Palace. Right next to two other screensavers, which to my knowledge are also fake, lies our golden goose. Compared to the others that feature longer, more detailed descriptions, 3D Workers Island is very short. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be long. This program isn't that difficult to describe. Plain and simple.
An island with people walking around on it.
As a direct answer to this problem, 3D Whisker Discovery pages features a more in-depth description of the program. What is this strange screensaver you have stumbled upon? The only way to really understand 3D Whisker is to try it. It works, that's how it works. But I'll give you my best overview. When you start 3D Workers Island, it will display its 6 characters and a helpful character card that gives you a name for each one. Afterwards, you'll be placed in front of an island, and you will mostly remain on that island until you decide to stop the program. The characters are powered by a kind of AI technology that the authors refer to as worker simulation. It is clear from simple observation that this tech should not be taken lightly. But just how advanced this AI is seems to be an ambiguous and controversial question in the community. It is very much a matter of intuition at this point. At the very least, it is good enough to capture the imaginations of many. Whatever is happening under the hood, it is taxing to any PC. The program seems to be fluid in this way. It will use whatever resources are provided to it, but can make do with just about any system that is capable of displaying the 3D graphics. Impressive or not as technology, you will find that this is a program of broad and infinite possibilities. Since retiring last November, I have been keeping 3D Whisker running on the desk in my study, in my bedroom, my living room, my kitchen, and my basement, all running around the clock as I do my household tasks and live my life. What I see on each of these PCs throughout the day is still continuously fresh and novel to me. It makes my home into a very pleasant little world. You will notice that the island is quiet. 3D Whisker does not play audio, unlike what you may find in the After Dark products and similar entertainment-based programs, but very much in line with the default package of screensavers in the Windows operating system, such as 3D Maze and Mystify Your Mind. The significance of this silence is considerable. It allows the island to disappear. Despite its heft, it's also light. There's a sense of ghostly transience, that none of it is really happening, and it can all vanish with the flick of a mouse. This next section is very important in understanding this story, so I'll just let it play out.
Bucket got more stuff in.
Les achats en ligne comportent des risques numériques. C'est pourquoi vous devez activer NordVPN. Évitez les...
This happened back in October. In detention, they had me sit in the computer lab where I ostensibly wasn't allowed to play on the computers. Lol. But my computer lab teacher was in there upgrading Office, and I showed him 3DWI and explained it to him. I swear, he was like enchanted by it. He wanted to install it on all the computers, so we installed it on all the computers together while eating donut holes. We had some problems, and I had to call my sweet and angelic mommy to tell her why I was still at school, but we eventually got it working after 7 p.m. We turned off the lights and it started going on every computer in the room. It was a powerful experience. Just all these different things happening on the island all around us, on glowing screens, in the dark and silent computer lab at night. Way better than 3D Party. It felt like this was the way 3DWI was meant to be experienced. I recommend putting this thing on as many screens as you possibly can.
What were you in detention for?
Lol, dress code violations mainly. I also invented a fake skin disease called Cuddalakune, and started incorporating it into some of my written assignments in English and history, even when it had nothing to do with anything.
Okay, I'll bite. Tell me about Cuddalakune.
I'm glad you asked. Cuddalakune, skin disease with 4 stages. Stage 0, redness and sensitivity. Stage 1, skin gas, holes or gas of various sizes exposing dermis. Stage 2, skin islands, widespread loss of epidermis, leaving only a number of skin islands of various sizes. Stage 3, resection of the island, leading to complete loss of epidermis. Early stages can be treated in reverse, but stage 3 is irreversible. Stages 1, 2, and 3 are consistently rated 10 on the 1 to 10 pain scale.
your favorite character?
Amber. No question, Amber. Amber's the answer. If I had to choose a favorite, tough one. Just kidding, it's Amber. Fuck everyone else. I'm offended that the question is even being posed, but I understand. You don't know any better. You're better off this way.
I know we're not supposed to talk about those topics here, but we can at least be honest when it comes to questions like this. I'm not gonna pretend my favorite character is Holland or Grace or somebody else just so things can stay clean on this forum.
Can somebody fill me in on the joke here? What's wrong with the other characters? Amber would be a good choice and may have been mine, but I am sometimes put off by your lazy tendencies. Naturally, I would choose Pat, since by coincidence we share a name, and I believe the two children are hers. Another coincidence, as I also have 2 daughters. However, I cannot help but feel attracted to Rebecca, with her eye-catching red hair and shoes. It is a difficult question. Amber knows something.
I need a
Page 153 features a new website titled Computer Philosophy 1, Windows. A piece of writing going over how our various technologies are used as a window into a fictional reality, and the ramifications of such, albeit with very broken English.
There are of windows everywhere we see them, and anyone could be looking in at you. That's a part of what makes them scary. But windows are even scarier when you are the one who looks in them, because of when you never know what you'll see in them. Remember the enthusiasm in a market for a window into reality in 1996, as the Nintendo 64 broke? Once Lore Project Reality. Of course, the TV screen is really a window into fiction and not reality. The only real window of reality is the one we looked into as a baby and still cannot turn from. What called the common story theme of falling into asphalt imagery? We bring the inside into the outside, and the outside is the place we are stuck looking. This is the only meaning of I'm trapped in the TV. When we find out that reality is a thing we look into, but what does that mean? Where are we? What happens when something bad you find responsible for is there, and you do nothing to stop it, because it looks through a window and is not real? I'm trapped in here, and I may never return home. What do we need?
Wow, tell me more about that.
So, I was with my cousin last week for Thanksgiving. Since last year, they live a 3-hour drive away. It got late, and he took me down a dark trail and scared the piss out of me, talking about ghosts and murderers. In a quiet moment, I thought I might change the subject, so I started talking about 3DWI, apropos of nothing. Turns out, he knew about it, which caught me off guard. And he carried on with the exact same tone as when he was talking about torture killers a moment earlier, but now talking about 3DWI, as if telling me about a conspiracy or something. He went on about the girl in the pink shirt, and gave me this long list of obvious things to pay attention to in the screensaver.
Oh, he's one of the Amber shitheads. Those people basically took down that old Discovery Pages website a couple years ago. Ruined a good thing.
Yeah. Anyway, when we got back, we watched 3DWI together until 2 a.m. on the slowest, crappiest computer in the world. We watched until suddenly the computer froze completely. But he told me it wasn't really frozen, that actually 3DWI does that on purpose, in order to hide things that are happening. I don't know, he was making things up on the spot, but I think they still meant something to him.
We have made it to one of the last times the forum will be used. This also marks the first sign of danger, where the cutesy exterior is cracked, to reveal a gooey, distorted home. It's as they say, curiosity killed the cat.
Okay, so I almost don't want to ask this at all, but I keep hearing certain implications about the screensaver that I don't want to repeat here, but you probably know what I'm talking about. I think maybe it's supposed to be a joke, but if so, I don't find it funny at all. Can somebody give me some more info about this? Turn back now. Don't go any further. For your own peace of mind, stop this line of inquiry now and do something else. Don't become another one of us freaks.
Seriously, I wish I could go back to enjoying the screensaver normally. I want to be a normal person. God, let me forget.
There are links that can be provided. If you really want them, I can send them to your email. Just let me know. I'm no coward. Here's the link. Go ahead. Enjoy.
Stick.
Yeah, that's not gonna last very long.
But satisfaction brought it back.
The windows of my living room, covering the walls with wide views of my front and backyard, filled the room with light during the day and an air of vulnerability during the night. My brother crashes here. He sleeps on the couch against the back windows. Sometimes he sits in it, looking out those windows, and tells stories about the house beyond my backyard. A man lives in that house with his 2 sons. The curtains are closed, and they imagine their own childhood was playing itself behind them. It's just a stupid game, really, making up stories about the neighbor. I think it is a way to bond over past experiences. Somehow we get emotional about it anyway, but not emotional enough to feel it. Because it's really just a stupid game. There's no point in worrying about those children based on feelings and intuition alone. Both find that our dreams become more vivid with time. Lately we've grown exhausted of that game, but recently I downloaded 3D Workers Island. It plays on a PC in the corner of my living room. You should check out this program. It's a screensaver, which means it only starts when you aren't using your computer. But when it starts, you're on an island. There are people around, but they don't do much. Not when they're outside, anyway. Naturally, you wonder what they might be doing inside the windowless red house in the background. That's when things start to go wrong, when you start wondering that. And now, we begin another game.
Aww.
As in life, concern begets more concern. The reality is always worse than you think it is. No matter how much you learn, it's always worse. And the only escape is to stop asking, to stop digging, to stop learning.
You stop being it, stop it.
This is your chance to stop.
Yes.
The preferred resource for all things 3D Workers Island is called 3D Whisker Discovery Pages, created and maintained by Pat Lawler. It covers everything a reasonable person would want to know. You should browse her website first if you haven't, because it's quite good. But Pat Lawler doesn't see what we see, or chooses not to. I have created a different kind of resource. Here I take your sightings and I display them for the benefit of others. Together we play this game the way it's meant to be played. Welcome to my website, Inside 3D Whisker. Beyond here are themes of violent abuse and torture. Continue if you can handle that.
For the rest of the story, we will be spending most of our time on another website, Inside 3D Whisker. The discovery pages are nothing more than cliff notes at this point.
I removed your link because it breaks the following rule. Rule 5. Do not post links to the website. You know the one. It is nothing more than a collection of perverted creative writing prompts. I will not usually be so strict about something like this, but clearly there are too many here who cannot stay reasonable and sane while discussing the content of this particular website. So I must make the hard decision of banning it. You can guess what I think about this topic, but let me try to explain the phenomenon occurring here. The fact is, many internet users are children and young adults, and children like to play games. What this means is, you will occasionally find yourself unknowingly pulled into the games played by children. On the website, you will primarily find stories told by kids to scare other kids. You will also find so-called analysis of these stories that treats them as true fact, to give them legitimacy. But there is no evidence to be found there. I hope I have cleared things up for you, buddy. Shut up, Pat. Anyway, more links. Members.aol.com/John Sarway. Good info about John Sarway. Geocities.com/Welcome to my world. Stories of reality. Thank you, P. Lawler. Well said. Those violent stories are cheesy and over the top. Blood and guts. Believe me, I've been watching this program for so long, I would have seen such things by now. If the screensaver won't open up to you, maybe you need to look within yourself to find the problem. You'd love to think it's all just bloody, screaming children. Long before I began seeing the violent shit, I saw the way Amber was treated by the other islanders. I saw her tiredness. I saw her subtle messages. But you just point at the bleeding children and laugh. Alright then. Why is it always Amber who gets abused and killed in these made-up scenarios? Don't get why this community has an obsession with torturing her specifically. You're all freaks and sociopaths is my best guess. Maybe I should create my own section for dealing with 3D Whisker hoaxes. Snopes.com has a good system for these. I would give every one of these stories the red sphere of falseness. False, false, false. Jesus fucking Christ, that website. The screenshots and pictures on there are insane. Some of them are obviously straight out of Photoshop. Others I don't know. They're all low-quality JPEGs for what it's worth. Makes it easy to hide flaws. Welcome to Inside 3D Whisker. Here you'll find the content missing from P. Lawler's 3D Whisker discovery pages. Her website should be your source of general information about the screensaver, but come back here when you're done. Pick a category on the left and browse your collection of user-submitted sightings. Download 3D Whisker and let us know what you find by submitting a sighting. Thanks for visiting and telling us your stories. April 25th, 1999. I'm receiving so many emails about the Sam Ferraro business. Though there's not much contention on whether the screenshot of Amber's rare black shirt is real, there's a lot of disagreement about whether the picture on her shirt is really of Sam Ferraro, since it doesn't exactly match any of the known publicly released photos of him. I've expanded the section to include some of your comments. On the subject of photos, I removed a user-submitted photo from PJR Pin at the request of its original owner. I'm planning on overhauling the category soon. More details to come. April 24th, 1999. Added a link to Grace's Guilt. Great quote. Lucky for that girl. Her story became an urban legend. Most people don't believe it really happened, even if they are fascinated anyway. A perfect disappearing act. The real transforming into fiction. Now she lives her disgraceful retirement in the remote world of a cartoon. But reality will haunt her conscience forever. Added some more user submissions to worker degeneration. PJR Pin. The PJR Pin is one of 3D Whisker's first popular sightings. The letters PJR stand for Pat, Joe, and Rebecca, 3 characters on the island. When these 3 adults approach Amber in the following formation, facing her, it's called a PJR Pin. Amber is in the center of the formation. The PJR Pin isn't complete unless all 3 adults are close enough to prevent Amber from moving. Or in other words, to pin her in place. This is a very strict and specific requirement that is not met often. Formations in this particular shape are uncommon between any 4 characters. When they do form, they are spontaneous and brief. They'll usually reorganize themselves in the more stable circles, or rather diamonds, like this. Why is the PJR Pin significant? According to the stories, it triggers the following sequence of events. All 4 characters disappear instantaneously. The world is replaced by darkness. In that darkness appears a photograph of a child in clothes that resemble Amber's pink stripes. She is sometimes injured, sometimes not. An audio clip of a young woman's scream, or multiple screams, play from the speakers. It's usually interpreted as Amber's voice, but sometimes the voice of an off-camera witness. The world reappears. Pat, Joe, Rebecca, and Amber reappear at the front door of the house, one by one. Amber is the last to appear. No evidence of the event remains. Most accounts miss the first 3 steps in the sequence. It's only when they hear the screams that they start paying attention to what's happening on the screen. 3D Whisker doesn't officially play audio, but many stories report sounds. They usually describe very loud or very quiet sounds, like screams or whispers with little in between. We have a page just for whisper-related sightings, most involving Amber's pleas for help. Much pride is taken in the skill of recognizing these whispers as quickly as possible, since they often precede other events for which screenshots are desirable. No whispers precede the PJR Pin, unfortunately. Photographs are also a common theme in these sightings. 3D Whisker appears to have a heavy preoccupation with the real world, and in particular with real human bodies, from living and healthy to mangled or emaciated or dead. In this case, even when Amber doesn't display any physical injuries, her transformation into a human body is often interpreted as an act of violence itself. In general, any movement between fiction and reality, in either direction, is treated with an undertone of terror. Descriptions of the photo vary. It may be that people are seeing the same photo and remembering it differently. It's not hard to believe that a disturbing and sudden scream is shocking people into seeing or remembering injuries that aren't there. But it's also possible that 3D Whisker is displaying different photos of the same girl at varying levels of injury, perhaps dependent on the context of the simulation, as Amber's plight has been shown to progress in severity over time. Who is the girl in the picture? Until we have a legitimate screenshot, we have little to go on, and this one has proven challenging to capture. G-Key.
You know how a few changes on your website can somehow take weeks to ship? With Framer, that's over. Because while your site lives here, it also lives here, giving designers and marketers the freedom to update and publish all on their own, while your developers focus on the big stuff. With a powerful CMS, a growing universe of plugins, and your whole team unblocked, you're not just building a website, you're building momentum. Ship faster, build smarter with Framer.
It's getting worse and worse. The more I watch, the more I notice, the more I understand, the more bold it becomes with the things it shows me. Every time I come to some new revelation, the screensaver shows me more. But most other people don't see these things, and if I have someone in the room with me, they don't happen.
Are you telling me P. Lawler, with the 10 billion hours she's been watching 3DWI, hasn't seen any of these things? Getting dangerous in here, lol.
Pat Lore is a criminal. I have family who used to live down the street from her. Nobody in their right mind would trust Pat Lore. Pat Lore shouldn't be allowed to run a 3D Works Island fan website. She should be in prison. Anyone who wants details is free to message me. I'm GoodKid85 on AIM.
Island?
Damn it, Good Kid! And he's banned. That was fast. P. Lawler is always online.
No,
she reads every post the second you submit it. You cannot evade her.
Alright, cool, we have 10 iron nuggets.
Worker degeneration is something akin to injury or damage. This damage is associated with an active entity, which 3D Whisker calls a worker, hence the name of this page. It's not clear to me how this term came about. It wasn't invented by 3D Whisker's authors, yet it implies a bit of knowledge about the screensaver's internals, that the injury is associated in some fundamental way with the underlying worker concept. This is especially strange since the only documented cases of worker degeneration are tied to one character, that being Amber.
Life is full of things you didn't know could kill you, like a bad construction driver. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh! Everyday situations can turn lethal in seconds. But thankfully, this head is filled with blue blood, so we can see exactly what would happen without making things too disturbing. Oh! Stop! 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 Oh my god! Well, that one may have been lethal. I still have 9 other ways you didn't know you could die. Like a drone flying accident, or a coin falling from a skyscraper. I got all these ideas from ChatGPT, so my goal today is to see if they're real threats or just AI nonsense. But our next situation even surprised me. Next up, we have a vending machine. These things are apparently killers. They kill more people than sharks per year. Ever rocker tilt machine can fall over and cause serious injury or death. To simulate that, though, I have this ballistic head on the ground, and we're just gonna push it over. This is how it always happens. I put their quarters in, they click their soda. They don't get it. They're pissed. I hate everything. Give me my soda. Oh, wow. It's so much more damage than I expected. That would definitely kill you. You're dead as hell. On to the next one. Our next ChatGPT death is pretty simple. ChatGPT says a way you didn't know you could die is by rubber bands being put on your head till it explodes. Kind of like those watermelons. This is the start of something big. 1. Oh, the gel's starting to break back here. We're just shy of 100. We'll come back to these rubber bands later.
Yeah, it's almost too hot not to have watermelon. What's the wiener supposed to do to let you know that the watermelon...
Wait, is it a fucking...
Yeah, it's almost too hot. What's the wiener... Watermelon.
I have an entire baguette.
What's the wiener supposed to do to let you know that vitamin D shrapnel? I don't think I'm ready for that. On the handle? No. That's the last rubber band. Handle? That's the last rubber band. Handle?
You die.
Huh?
I regret my actions. I deeply regret using inappropriate language in Deep Woken, and fully understand the seriousness of my actions. I recognize that saying the N-word was offensive and unacceptable, and I take full responsibility. It was a moment of ignorance and poor judgment, not reflective of who I strive to be. I'm committed to learning from this, and being a more respectful and positive member of the community. IR. Denied. You are banned for 2.2a. This ban is permanent and will not be lifted. Please do not appeal for this account again. Hello, and welcome to another Ray Concert video, and in today's video, I'll be covering more funny Deep Woken ban appeals. Make sure to check me out on Twitch because I will be streaming right after uploading this video at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, let's get into it. I don't cheat. Yo, mother... And there is clip. Yo, mother... My boy, also unbanned Kakasha 1991. And if you can, suck my golden balls. If you not unban me, you support racism. Okay, I'm not gonna read that. I do know what it says, but it is a very racist statement, and I think that says Agamatsu. Okay. And then a file location for a clip. Additional information is a metal clip. Denied. Your ban is not false. Do not continue to appeal, or you'll be given the blacklisted role. Let's just see what the clip is. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think he put a random clip in there. Yeah, I really shouldn't read that in the video, though. This will actually get me blacklisted. Username, FW_Twixes. Evidence none. Okay, I found the clip from the ban appeals. I didn't mean fapping, as I put. I meant yapping, but it can mean I can see the confusion. I did correct myself after the clip, but yeah. Denied. Without your POV, you won't be unbanned. See, now, I can already imagine that this one's really stupid. I can just imagine he says something like, oh yeah, you're fat.
Yes. Yes. 60,284. Wait, that's wrong. It has 16,777 216. It's actually wrong. It's not 116. Also, it's from the other mod. Like it's from extra cells too. Okay, you go down 1,000. This is normal. This is the max normally. Then you go down, and then you have a 1K store thingy. There's a lot of mobs there. I just get more. Carrot. Nom. Nom 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 nom. I can't fucking eat it. I can't eat it because. Alright, let's go some things. Alright, dehydration is now a problem. Like, no, really, it's actually a problem. I'm gonna cook 2 extra Aryan. Okay, we have 6 dirt. I'm gonna take the dirt and I'm gonna start making my farm. Alright, here's my farm. We're gonna expand it. Get some of these. Make a crop dongle. Make a bucket, dear God. Make desperate times. Desperate times. Desperate times. We gotta get some salt. And the salt for bomb harvest craft. I need fresh water. Okay. I need sand and a glass bottle. I have sand. I can get sand. Alright, crop area. We got a lot of food. This thing is different, but we're gonna take they're gonna take 7 monster heart of flesh and 7 monster jockey and 8 zombie heads. So it's just Potato. Oh, I got a can. I had a canteen. Okay. Okay. We have a 9 shovel for no reason. And I'm gonna do it all. I guess we're gonna eat the rest. I'm getting thirsty. Thirst. Alright, we have thirst, so we lose thirst fast. But the good thing, we have a new bait. We have a bait of arthropods. Arthropods are stored. Judgment. I have a There's a witch. Bozo. Oh, was it? Stoners for 30 seconds. That's probably how long I can live after hitting this spider. Bozo, yeah, go fight me, huh? You died. Womp womp. Hunger. I'm hungry, so I have to eat stuff. Oh my god.
Fapping right now, and then he meant you're yapping right now. Gave them a bit more proof that he is just a weirdo, but you know, it's still probably what
Yo, 180p.
wasn't that additional. Second of all, we really think that's where the permanent ban right there? What do you mean I got banned for hacks? It's perm banned? You even looked at my appeals? I did again, everything in clip and got appeal approved, but no unbanned. Denied and there's another clip. Okay, well, I see now. This guy's W rank. He's not even trying to hide it. I got banned for no reason. I never exploited in the game, and I came back from a joyful birthday just to come home to this? What the hell, man? Fix your game and your random or wrong banning of people. The last thing I remember before getting banned was I played the game with Natiers 34, and I wiped my Grand Sodaruska slot. He can attest that I haven't ever exploited even once. I got banned for no reason? I came back from a joyful birthday just to come home to this. I spent 200 hours for this, and you do me like this? What the hell? Banned for exploits. What is about to happen? This, by the way, this clip doesn't have any higher quality. I'm sorry you guys have to watch this. Oh, okay, well, I see. He's kind of just in the floor. Should for a clip. Additional information is a metal clip. And I can just imagine he said something like, oh yeah, you're fapping right now, and then he meant you're yapping right now. And even the original is not worth a permanent ban. Hello, I keep getting threatened by some dude saying he clipped me X-holding, which I didn't, but I wonder if he really reported me logging out of game and lagging. So can I learn how many X strikes with video evidence? Denied, you have no strikes. Bruh, y'all running out of players to the point jailbreak got more. Just unban us, you'll get your players back, trust. Denied, game ban / anti-exploit. I literally woke up to being banned. I was playing all night fine. Denied, and a clip. Oh, it's this dude. Is she fapping? Okay, well that was the guy that meant to say yapping. Now, okay, this one's just really stupid, because first of all, the person that took their time out of their day to clip that because he said that is like, oh my god, you're a loser. But second of all, we really think that's where the permanent ban right there? What do you mean I got banned for hacks? It's perm banned? You even looked at my appeals? I did again, everything in clip and got appeal approved, but no unbanned. Denied, and there's another clip. Okay, well I see now. This guy's W rank. He's not even trying to hide it. I got banned for no reason. I never exploited in the game, and I came back from a joyful birthday just to come home to this. Keep my keys. What is about to happen? This, by the way, this clip doesn't have any higher quality. I'm sorry you guys have to watch this. Oh, okay, well, I see. He's kind of just in the floor. Wow, very subtle. Good recovery. I do not have evidence because I don't know what I did, and I've been off the game because I wiped and low-key raged. I would like to know what I did and see the clip of whatever I did. I only get on to play with friends, so please fix this soon. I would like to know how long the ban is so I can tell my friends. Denied. Banned for 1 month for telling someone to say a certain phrase in-game and reporting them afterwards so they get banned on Roblox. You do this for no reason. Like, you're so annoying if you do stuff like that. In my view, I was just climbing on a wall with him, picked up, and the clip he sent, it seems that I walked through the stone. But you can actually see me climbing. I couldn't clip it because if I use clipping software, I will lag a lot. There's hella similar bugs when you pick up people, and this is one of them, and it's probably because he was lagging. Denied. You were seeing no clipping through blocks and flying. This is exploits. I kind of wish they would put the clip here, though. So basically, I can't prove that I'm right if I still ban, but I appreciate that you didn't say anything about all the tickets I sent. But I want you to rewatch the videos for the last time. You'll notice before the dude execute me, there was a visual problem. And when he continued to execute me, he started flying. And please check the other video. I was literally stuck underground. Rewatch it. Denied. There were 2 instances shown of you exploiting as a permanent ban and it's unappealable. This is from the same person in the clip that I just watched. The guy was under the floor and then came back up. I wasn't cheating. It was lag. Just unban me. Denied. Game ban anti-exploit. He's probably lying. Dear mods, sorry to disturb you again, but I need to know how y'all came to the conclusion that I was exploiting. There must be a huge misunderstanding here. I cannot see what time asked you to review my case once again and send proof. Denied. Exploiting. Here's a clip. Oh, okay. Well, the guy is lying around. I don't have video evidence. I don't even know why I got banned, but I killed the lead. Leader of one guild that said he would report me, but I never use exploits or that kind of stuff. And if that's the reason why I got banned, can I be provided with a clip where I exploit? Denied. Ban for exploits. Like you did. I don't understand. I don't understand why people will like ask for clips where they exploit when it's so insanely blatant. Like you're not even trying to hide it. Like it actually angers me when someone blatantly exploits and asks for proof. Like I'm not even joking. It actually makes me mad seeing those clips. It's like what are you bothering to waste people's time for? Victor PvP9. I want evidence. Please let me have evidence of my ban. Denied. Your ban is classified. See, it's just stupid, man. I've already been over this so many times. It's not even worth talking about. But classified bans really shouldn't be allowed. Bro, no, you don't understand. It's his POV. I don't know why, but I was on Germany servers. But I'm not from EU, so I had really bad ping. In my POV, I got pushed into the wall and just rolled in spam because I was panicking. Bro, this actually looks so bad. I understand why you're saying I'm cheating, but on God, I am not. Please, bro. Unless you have a valid video of your POV, you will remain banned. Y'all didn't even respond for spending $10 on this damn game. Y'all can at least read the damn ticket, bro. Denied. This ban is permanent. You were told 5 times you were caught exploiting, and you yourself know what happened. You are now blacklisted for misusing appeals multiple times after being instructed not to. Evidence. This is all I got. Denied. You have been banned for sexual harassment. Do not make further appeals. What is the evidence here? It's a short. It's a YouTube short that he recorded vertically on his phone. Oh, okay. He got banned for doing W and S on someone's dead body and spitting on them in-game. For those of you that don't know, spitting is an in-game mechanic where you can spit on someone and it heals you a little bit. But he was just banned for, repeatedly pressing W and S behind someone because the Roblox equivalent of teabagging is bannable in Deep Woken for whatever reason. Bro, on my life, I don't exploit for me. I got pushed into the wall from that giant
on Discord. And the best... Do you want to know what would make Discord even better? If they added more advertising. And ladies and gentlemen, my dreams might just be coming true because Discord has been silently working on 2 big things that might be a warning sign that Discord is going to have even more advertisements. Yay. Now, I say even more advertisements because if you go on Discord and you try doing remotely anything, chances are Discord will tell you, please just buy Nitro with your mommy's credit card. Now, fortunately, my girlfriend is my mommy, so I'm covered in that aspect, but that's not the only way that Discord advertises to you. In fact, Discord's newest version of advertising are Discord Quests. But Discord Quests are kind of a strange form of advertising. First off, you can see that it is promoted by Rockstar Games. Discord did, in fact, get a wheelbarrow full of money from Rockstar Games. It's actually a lot of money, and you'll see later on how much it kind of ballparks to. Now, in exchange for Rockstar Games giving Discord money that they got from selling kids shark cards on GTA Online, aka Kid Online Daycare, Discord will then try to convince you to play GTA Online for 15 minutes. I'd rather scoop my eyeballs out. And if you have your Discord client open as a reward, you will get the Los Santos avatar decoration for only 2 months. Yeah, this isn't a permanent thing. But the thing with Discord's Quest is that they're actually, controversial opinion coming up, they're actually a really good way of having advertising in Discord. For example, before you watch my YouTube video, you probably got an ad. Watching that ad was a complete waste of your time and you gained nothing from it. In fact, it was probably trying to sell you something that you didn't even need in the first place. Whereas with Discord's Quest advertising, if you just play a game for 15 minutes, you get a reward out of it. It's kind of a win-win situation. But that might change because the secret thing Discord has been working on is groundbreaking, revolutionary, and groundbreaking again. It's Discord's new ads policy from 7 days ago. Yeah, in this boring big ass document, Discord talks about what ads are and aren't allowed on their platform. This applies to all native Discord ads, so stuff like quests and maybe something else, and any third-party ads on Discord, which includes ads in Discord activities. Now, when Discord inevitably succumbs to late-stage capitalism and Discord is filled to the brim with ads, this policy will prevent us from seeing any sort of no-no ad. And according to Discord, no-no ads are adult content ads, like cuddling sites, that's rough, wood lengthening pills, and those buildings in Grand Theft Auto that you don't tell your mom about. But Discord also doesn't allow ads with alcohol, body alteration, charity, Cocomelon, dating. You don't really need to advertise something that's already on the platform anyways. Dangerous activities, substances, and one of the highlights of things that Discord doesn't allow for advertisements are financial products and services. And why is this a highlight? Well, Discord doesn't allow ads for cryptocurrency because crypto investors that invest in meme coins, I'm gonna sugarcoat my words, they're f***ing morons. Those people are so dumb they'd fall for the RuneScape gold doubling scam. Moving on, Discord doesn't allow gambling ads, so there goes my $5 million stake sponsorship to addict kids to gambling. You can't have hateful conduct, healthcare, it's an American company, so of course, illegal, inappropriate, intellectual property violating content, political content, tobacco, unacceptable business practices like selling animals, weapons, and finally, weight loss products. Now I'm gonna make a groundbreaking discovery. But how is a Discord quest supposed to advertise wiener growing pills or selling animals? I don't think it's physically possible for these quests to advertise something like that. And I know the wording said, oh, this also applies to activities, but if it applies to activities, why is the word native Discord ads included? Time to be professional here. But what I think is going on is that I think this ads policy is actually paving the road for more advertisements on Discord, and there is something coming up which well doesn't contradict my prediction. Now, whenever there's anything
I cooled off. I'm going potatoes, rice. Yes, I eat rice. I don't take a bit. Water. You can turn a fresh water to fresh water. Fresh water. Salt. Oh, I actually threw it. Oh no, it's totally not a next. Actually, me just looking. And zombie jerky. Oh my god, yeah. This is useful. I wasted one of my... I think I'm gonna leave this. Oh yeah. In 2 days, no school.
Thing remotely controversial about Discord. On Discord.
A lot of treated wood. But why make one wheel when I can make 3? Obviously these water wheels create electricity simply by rotating, and it rotates when you create a sideways waterfall, which is basically a river, on top of it. But these wheels must be connected to a kinetic dynamo to convert this rotation into electricity, using Faraday's law of induction or something. And this dynamo is assembled from an unusually high concentration of copper. I consumed a stack of copper, about 1 hammer, and a shear just so I could make 1 coil for the dynamo. This was because using these hand tools was extremely material inefficient. But by using the metal press, this will cut our federal spending in half. So the metal press will be the next machine I will create, which will be powered by the water wheel. But in order to transfer power, I will also need wire connectors, which were simply made from terracotta and even more steel. Now that I had everything to invent electricity, it was time to copy this tutorial for making the theoretical max efficiency water wheel setup, which involves covering 70% of the whole wheel in water. Contrary to popular belief, this will not cause the water wheel to fly, which is a good thing, but I had been betrayed, because after copying this diagram into the real world, the water wheel did absolutely nothing. Therefore, it was not working. It was now time for the second most engaging game mechanic in immersive engineering, which was to randomly break stuff and randomly click stuff until the machine begins to work. This engaging game mechanic is present throughout approximately 50% of immersive engineering. This was truly immersive. As it turns out, the culprit of the May 2023 water wheel disaster were these dirt blocks over here. Once I annihilated these, the wheel began to rotate, and the dynamo began to produce electricity. This was an epic win. Now it was time to make a metal press. This needed a few industrial machinations, including engineering blocks. These were made of engineering parts, which needed blueprints, which needed paper. So it was now time for an epic conquest for sugarcane. I attempted to use the chair wands to rapidly traverse the world, but this did not go well. This was due to the existence of the arch nemesis of the infinite chair creator, which were known as trees. The wand would inevitably send me riding into a tree, causing me to suffocate, wasting 5 seconds of spamming the shift key to escape this wooden prison. So I decided to walk like a normal person. After creating the blueprints using lapis, paper, and some more steel, I used even more steel and osmium, as well as the blueprint and this engineering table, to create a few steel and iron components. These, along with some metallic alloy constructs, pistons, and even more steel, would create the engineering blocks. Some notable mentions include conveyor belts and steel frames. Once all of these were created, I placed all of these blocks down in a specific arrangement to form what is known as a multi-block machine. Smashing this with a hammer results in the metal press being activated. Unfortunately, victory had not been achieved yet. The metal press needed molds to actually press things into shapes. So I used even more steel to create perhaps the usefulest mold in the history of molding and even more steel, plate molds. After attaching this to the press, it was now time for the final part of the gaming plan. I shall use the wire connectors and some copper wire to connect the water wheel to the metal press in order to power it. But then, nothing happened. Apparently, the power was not being transferred. It was now time for the third most engaging part of immersive engineering gameplay, figuring out why the system won't work, which could be 58,458 different reasons that were not talked about anywhere. After 5 minutes of doing random things, including breaking and replacing the water wheels, the system finally decided to work, and the metal press was now powered. I had now unlocked the ability to make plates from 1 ingot, instead of 2 ingots. This will make industrialization much cheaper. Now it was time to begin making massive amounts of iron plates, steel plates, and copper plates. These would be crafted into external heaters, and would be combined with the blast furnace bricks to create the blast furnace bricks, but even better. Now all of this would be combined together in a semi-cuboid structure to create the new and improved upgraded blast furnace V2 MK3. By using some more copper wires and wire connectors, I used the power of the water wheel to power the external heaters to speed up the blast furnace, to make even more steel. Now, it theoretically took 20 seconds now instead of 60 seconds, but both were unbearably long. Based on this empirical evidence, I have come to the conclusion that there was no noticeable improvement. The only thing I could do now was to make more of these to parallelize industrialization, but I did not feel like smelting myself 40 more times for more bricks. So what I shall do now was place hoppers everywhere so I could automatically input coal and output coke and input iron and coke and output steel. Then I put in 1 kilo iron and kilo coal to make 1 kilo steel. This system could basically run forever, so I went to go do other stuff. It was now time to focus on the second questline, starting with Baycock Spoke. This was involved creating the aforementioned illegal herb farm, which involves the infamous magic mod known as roots. I had no idea why this was in the game, but it was necessary for industrial progress, and I was waiting for 1 kilo steel to initiate phase 2 of my industrialization. So it was time to speed run the entirety of roots to get all of the items I needed, which were the snare of thingies and some other flowers. Stage 1 of roots begins with collecting a bunch of nature-themed items, but I had a head start since I already accumulated several species, phylum, and genus of nature from my beginning explorations. So it was time for the real stage 1, which was to turn these natural items into a bunch of random ritual altars, which could combine some more natural items to make advanced random items. Thankfully this did not need even more steel. After using Baycock's bow to murder this root, I smelted myself 10 more times for more blood meatballs for more bloodied stone. The murdered root was sprinkled on top of this to create the pyre, and on this pyre, I sacrificed some tree bark, stone, and moss, and burned everything to create the charred stone. With this, it was now time to breed about 8 different flowers using a bunch of random objects. This would require exploration, so it was time to use the chair wand to speed run finding everything. On the mini-map, I detected that there was a swamp somewhere northwest, so it was time to get to teleporting there. Before I knew it, I found myself in the great northwest swamp, and I was here to burglarize lily pads from the water. Now it was time to return to base to smelt the lily pads with some crushed flowers and sugar and other neurological constructs to invent the Dugonia species. This was the predecessor to the cloudberry, which needed blue orchids, so it was time to use this trail of invisible chairs to auto-click my way back there without losing much hunger, since sitting in chairs did did not burn calories. After collecting these orchids, I was now able to smelt these along with wool, grass and other natural constructs to construct the cloudberry, but I only said I was able to craft it, and I will not actually perform the craft, because making the cloudberry would consume the dugonium. Thankfully, I could grow infinite dugonium by using agriculture. Too bad these only grew on elemental soils because these were so-called magical flowers and blah blah blah, so it was time to put the flower conquest on hold. I went underground to subject myself to inhumane conditions to mine amethysts, garnet, and opal. I passed by several metric tons of iron ore, and it took several metric tons of restraint to not let the intrusive thoughts lead me towards the red circles and click on them. With all these gems, I was instructed by the quest line to make this magical wooden protrusion in this rather oddly shaped protrusion of stone, called a grove. This was needed to cast a spell that was super important, the Grove Supplication Ritual. And this decade's biggest mystery was how to activate the so-called Grove Supplication Ritual, because there is no information on this at all except from an obscure PNG that you click on in J. After absorbing this knowledge, I performed the ritual, and my grove was now slightly more yellow. This grove allowed me to do the third kind of ritual, the Fey Ritual, because apparently, communicating with the Great Lakes Forest spirits in episode 1 wasn't enough. Now it was time to communicate with the magical Fey spirits, and there is no actual lore behind this that I could find. So as far as I know, this was just a bunch of random rituals that I was being forced to do by some stranger named Nuganitis. Hopefully this will not have any real-life consequences such as Herobrine being summoned in real life. Anyways, I had gotten distracted. I used more gemstones to create the Fey Crafter. These could convert dirt, gravel, and some plant material into elemental soil. This was done by right-clicking it with a knife to turn the Fey Crafter into Kansas Simulator, which spits out whatever I needed. Now it was time to speedrun turning the elemental soil into the 4 elemental soils. To get the air soil, I must climb high into the atmosphere using this abandoned staircase from the dark ages of making the arena for destroying Bangkok. On top of this staircase, I threw the elemental soil high into the sky, and it changed into air soil. Now it was time for the opposite of air soil, which is earth soil. I went down into the great underground cave system of stone pickaxes, but while I was ascending into the cave system, I obtained some random best-selling novel about strange dreams. All it talked about were crystals, magic, and strange dreams, so I disregarded this information. I had important things to do. The water and fire soils were obtained simply from dipping stuff in dihydrogen monoxide and molten magma, and I shall place all the soils next to my ancient dead body because it would probably be more fertile or something. Then I planted all the flowers I had made so far. I then used bone meal to perform the well-known agricultural duplication glitch, and I invented the cloudberry. This cloudberry could be evolved into Pereskia by using more common plant materials, and lilac. Wikipedia and the internet gave inconclusive information on where to find lilac, so I wandered around in the forest until it came to me, and it came to me. But after the invention of Pereskia, this is where things get tricky, because now I needed to go to the nether. After doing a bit of spying on the quest, I made a shopping list of materials that I needed to steal. Now it was time to actually go into the nether. I had no plan on how I would get everything, so I shall simply survive and harvest stuff. As a small gift, I was given a fire resistance beverage by the Book of Quest Lines, which was its way of saying good luck, because the nether turned out to be on crack. There were pestilential eggplants and serial killers on benzomethylagomine everywhere, so I shall avoid everything. But after getting 2 things I needed, I got distracted by the nether fortress right in front of me. Before I then got there, everything went wrong, because some CIA agent was trying to snipe me now. But with the magic of the chair wand, I teleported my way up the nether fortress. But then I no-clipped into the nether roof. As it turns out, the chair wand was so overpowered that I could place chairs inside solid rock above me and take a seat inside the solid rock. And if I spammed this repeatedly, I could basically teleport onto the ceiling of anything. But this footage came from the test world. I do not need to seek refuge on the nether roof, so I stopped somewhere above and mined a small air pocket for myself, and I recovered from this incident. After reaching my full potential once again, I mined down onto the fortress below me, and this is where I mined cobalt, hardite, blaze rods, and other stuff. The chair wand escorted me down the hallways of this fortress, and I eventually wandered back into the beautiful natural environment of the nether. But then, the game itself realized that I had become too overpowered with the chair wand and vein mining, so it threw several random mods at me, including this random inventory expanding thing, and this random block rotation lock thing. Both of these kept blocking my screen, and I didn't know how to turn these off, but the industrialization must continue. But then I realized I was already done anyways. The last item I needed, magma cream, was obtainable from non-natural methods, so this was an epic win. With everything I just found here, I created the Baffle Cap, Infernal Bowl, and Moonglow Leaf, and I duplicated all of them using my massive stash of bone meal. Next, I would need some runic shears. These shears could apparently talk to ghosts or something, and this special ability will be used to convert wheat and beetroots into weird fictional vegetables. The effects were vastly different when these shears were used to talk with animal spirits, because the spirit of this cow would materialize special leather for me, for free. But then I was banned from talking to him after I apparently took too much stuff. Luckily I could simply beg from another cow spirit. After this exploitation of the working class, it was time for the final roots ritual of all time. The ritual, which was basically the final exam of magic, involved turning this crop into a massive special tree. But as it turns out, this ritual was only a slight variation of all the other rituals. After completing this, I claimed my prize of slightly darker wood, and I finished the root speed run by using my new flowers, animal stuff, and wood to create this, the artificial scarab wings, which is only useful in chapter 7. And yes, that was the entire point of the roots mod, except for several spells that will probably be used approximately 3 times in the future. And even after all this, after returning to the so-called upgraded blast furnace, I was now only 25% of the way to getting 1 kilo steel, so it was time to trap myself in a dirt box, and AFK the other 75% of the steel I needed for the project in the next episode. It is a top secret for now, but it shall aid me greatly in completing immersive engineering and evolving to achieve the next tiers of technology, which involves mechanism, gaming computers, and other stuff. And then, when I become God itself, I will mow down the tens of other bosses that were coming pretty soon, in the next chapters. In conclusion...
Hi, YouTube chat. Hello.
Doesn't Twitch not allow you to show other platforms' chats on streams? Hey, YouTube live chat?
No, I'm just not allowed to combine them. Why? I don't know. Twitch is weird. Plus, Twitch chat appears to be severely allergic to YouTube chat, and I think they would have a rash. So, if you really want me to ignore your message, like, visibly, all of this, it's already too much. I love you way more than the
Hey, this is Doug, where we solve problems that no one has. Now, I've made a lot of Twitch chat plays videos on this channel, where Twitch chat controls a game just with their messages. And you might have watched one of these and thought to yourself, is Twitch chat actually using any strategy at all, or is this basically just random inputs? That's a good question, and today we're going to find out, because today I created an artificial intelligence program for Mario Maker 2, and this AI literally just spams random buttons the entire time he plays. There's no actual strategy in his brain, and we're going to see if my stupid random robot can beat Twitch chat playing Mario Maker 2. Now, the way this will work is that both contestants are going to play a round of random, endless, easy levels. They each get 5 lives to beat as many levels as they can, and whoever beats more will win that round. Whoever can win 3 rounds first will win the overall tournament, and will be officially crowned as the smartest dumbass on Twitch. Now, a few quick rules for this. First off, both contestants will get 1 skip per round. Basically, if they hit a level that is insanely hard, they get 1 chance to skip it and move to a new one. Secondly, my AI is technically not 100% random, just because in Mario games you mostly move to the right to make progress. So I set him to be about 3 times more likely to move right rather than left, but all of his actual decisions are totally random. Thirdly, my AI needs a name. Chris Pratt was already taken on Mario Maker, so we named him Chris Snack. And now, let's find out if Twitch chat is actually smarter than random inputs. This is round number 1. Chris Snack will go first. Chris Snack is turning on. He's awakening from his slumber. Awaken! Mario, a 2. Speedrun short and sweet. I'll take that. Come on, Chris Snack. Uh-oh. I might need to skip this one. That's a death trap. How is this an easy level? Jesus Christ, Chris Snack. Okay, I'm skipping. All right, that's my 1 skip, so he has to play this level from this point on. 1,000 plus maker points. That's gotta be easy. That's gotta be some celebration level. Come on, Chris Snack. Thank you. Yes! Yes! Chris Snack, baby! Okay, we're on the board. We're on the board. You have to beat Poop. Come on. Fuck. Okay, Chris Snack, he has to jump immediately to get over that Goomba. Jump right away, jump right away, jump right away. Yes! Okay, move left. That was smart. He moved right. That was smart. This is last one right here. Get the mushroom and now jump, 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 jump. Let's go, let's go, let's go, come on. Okay. Shit. Oh, he's trapped. Is he smart enough to learn how to get out of this? Given the fact that he pretty much only knows how to move right, I don't think we're getting out of this one. Can anybody do the odds? There's like a 20% chance of him moving left every single thing. So you have to get a 20% chance of moving left, like 20 times in a row to get out of here. 1 in 7.5 trillion. Is Mario controlled by chat or AI? AI is generous. Yeah, he's more of an A. And I forgot to mention, Chris Snack is mostly stupid, but he has a 0.1% chance of becoming sentient, spamming screenshots on my Switch and trying to fuck our mom. So you gotta hope he never gets angry. Oh shit, he's working our mom chat. Oh no. Chris Snack, stop. Stop it, Chris Snack. But even once we calm down Chris Snack, he still had no shot at beating this level because he can't adjust his strategy midway through, and he eventually timed out and died. So Chris Snack's turn is over with only 1 level beaten. Next up is Twitch chat's turn.
Gotta beat 2 levels to beat Chris Snack. If you beat 1 level, that's just a tie, and we run it back.
Wait, do you want to skip? Or you go? You have to not rump. All right, voting no on skip. So you guys have to actually collectively not rump here. As long as nobody rumps, you're fine. As long as, oh my god, you got there! Okay, now you have to not. Holy shit, you got Bowser. No way. There's no way you pull this off. This is requiring too many smart things in a row are required from you. Okay, waste the star. Oh my god, come on. Something kill him. Oh, there's no way. Let's go. You still want skip or no? Moving towards skip. I think skip's smart. Okay, skip the first level. You still got 2 more lives. This is called art. You should be fine. As a reminder, Chris Snack did win a level. You are currently down by 1. Please tell me there are enemies in this level. Is it just pictures? Why doesn't Chris Snack get to walk through a museum and just look at pictures? Chris Snack earned his level, okay? He had to do like 3 jumps. He did, that's how he won. No, he had a good, honest, challenging American level. You guys honestly might die to the timer. This is excruciatingly long. It's a tie game. You got 2 lives to beat another level. Otherwise, it's a tie. We redo it. Grab at least 999 coins. And it's a swimming level. Oh dear god. As long as there aren't obstacles, this is probably doable. Buckle in, everybody. Got another 450 seconds of this. Why isn't Chris Snack the other coin level? Chris Snack got hard as fuck levels. We deserve this. Chris Snack deserved this. Chris Snack would have been amazing at this level. You know what they say though? The last 70 coins are the hardest. You know what they say? The last 40 coins are the hardest. You still have to get into that little hole. It'll take you forever. You have 300 seconds to touch that axe. Jesus Christ, you're actually really coordinated right now. Oh sure, let's give the coin level to Twitch chat. Oh, Chris Snack's too hard and fast to have a coin level. Let's give him hard shit. And with that second level beaten, Twitch chat officially wins round 1. All right, beat him. We'll do one more, see what happens. Dude, come on! Give Chris Snack some of that shit, come on! You have to understand, an AI like Chris Snack takes a little while to warm up. Okay, this time he's gonna execute things much better. He awakens. Give me something good. We're looking at a multiplayer versus level and it's themed. Okay. Uh-oh. No, he can get through this. He has to just jump. Come on. What are you doing? Chris Snack is brain dead. Don't talk about him like that. There you go. Come on, Chris Snack. Yes, let's go. Come on, keep it up. Yes, let's go. No, don't die in the bowl. Come on. You have to kill the bowl. Otherwise, you're gonna die with it. Kill the bowl. Jump, Chris. Why isn't he jumping? I'm not skipping. Why the fuck isn't he jumping? Come on, plan. You can plan anything. Okay, if he doesn't hit the music block, the mold does not come out. Dodge the block. Do not hit it. Do that. Yes. Let's go. One on the board. Rig, that was skillful, and you have to admit it. Okay. Chris Snack doesn't need a car where he's going. Wait, do you need the car? He needs to finish in the car? Okay, well, he has to finish in the car.
Guys.
I'm skipping. I can't risk it. You coward. I didn't know you could die in the car. Uh-oh. Chris Pratt does not know how to swim. All right, that's fine. 1 on the board. I think you guys got lucky last time with your art level and your coins level. This round 2, currently up 1. If you beat 1 level, you tie. If you beat 2 levels, you win. What the hell is the name of this level? Come on, something hard. Yes. Yeah, kill. Run him over. Are you fucking kidding me? That's fine. Now you're gonna get some really devious shit. You actually played really well, I'll admit. I need 2 hard levels in a row. Let me tie it. We're good. Koopa plates. Just gonna have enemies. Easy. Okay? I'll take that. Yes. Let me know if you want to skip. I don't think you... Yeah, not yet, but... Oh my god, that was close. Do you want to skip it? Thanks, Rayfall. You skip. You have 2 more lives. Come on. I need enemies. I need some enemies here. Yes. Come on, Koopa. Kill him. Yes. Last light. Yes. Tie game. We reset. Chris Snack. Awaken. Short and sweet single player. Come on. I like this. It's literally level. You go in the door, you win. Wait, he has to press up. He can, but it's like a 10% chance of pressing up. Come on, Chris Pratt. Go in the door. It's not only a 1 in 10 chance. He has to be at the door. Hey, he went down. He thought it was a pipe. Use the door, Chris Snack. He held down while he was at the door again. Yes, 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 let's go, Chris Snack. 1 on the 4, come on. Still 5 lives, still 1 skip. Level 2, short and sweet. No, he has to be on the center of the pipe. Oh, no. He has to be in the center and press down at the same time. I literally might need to skip this one. Think, Chris, you have to be in the center of the pipe. He's so close. He's so fucking close. Okay. Let's take a picture. Oh! End of the level, come on. And he's getting 3 lives. Let's fucking go, Chris Snack. You ground pounded into the enemies. Dude, you had it. If you just kept jumping. Mentally deficient. He got through a pipe, okay? He's a smart, beautiful boy.
Oh my god, this
He's smart. He knows what he's doing. Just jump and not press down. Okay. Here we go. Come on. Just do not ground pound. If you ground pound, he'll smash through all of them and die. Just keep saying like this. Stay like this. Holy shit. Fuck. Okay, I'm skipping.
He's not smart enough to not ground pound. 3 more lives. This is called I'm Getting a Shot. Okay, this looks easy. It's because it puts him next to the other enemies who immediately run into him. Now that is the Chris Snack special. Let's fucking go. Let's go, Chris. That's 2 levels. He cannot. It's not board. Let's.
Beautiful smart boy.
My beautiful smart boy just has to learn to swim, and he's fine. He's perfect otherwise. Twitch chat's up. You're feeling awfully confident. But Chris Snack beat 2 levels. You've got no shot. This is called No Stop. Oh my god. So you want to skip or what? If you just run right, you won't die. If you don't skip right now, I will admit you are less cowardly than me. I'm not gonna skip, but if you guys die to this, I will immediately skip. About that. Again, if every single one of you just run to the right, you'll get through this hellhole. Every single one of you. Take 2. No, we're skipping. 3 lives left. New level, no skip. Here we go. Ooh, this is doable.
You gotta keep bouncing on the Goombas, but this is doable. Last.
Ready to unlock Roblox digital gift cards?
.com/note. There are a lot of scams on Discord, and I try my best to cover every single one, but I still see people getting scammed over and over again by the same handful of scams. So I'm going to show you the 6 most common Discord scams, and for each scam, I'm going to show you how it works and how to secure your account if you got scammed. Now, it would be a modern-day miracle if you haven't experienced this first scam before. It is the fake Discord Nitro bot. The way that it works is that you're going to get a DM from Discord. Now, instead of this DM being Discord giving you an ungodly punishment for being a femboy, instead it turns out the totally real Discord bot has given you 1 year of free Discord Nitro. Now, before I get into the scam, I want to point out, Discord, you're a big company. How are you still letting people create Discord bots that are called Discord to scam people? In fact, if Discord ever does message you, it looks a little something like this. It's a Discord message, and you'll see right beside their username it says system. Also, in this DM with Discord, you can't reply to them, and when you click on Discord's profile, it's nothing, and it has a Discord staff badge. So what does the scam bot actually do? Well, it kind of has 2 phases to it. It has the spread and then the hook phase. I just made that up on the fly. It sounds pretty alright. But if you're in the spread phase of the bot, when you click on this button down here, what it's going to do is it's going to tell you to add this Discord bot to your server. And the Discord bot's going to join your server, disappear, and it turns out what it was doing is sending every single person on your server a DM exactly like the one we just got. So this scam bot's going to do that to spread all across Discord, which it does very well because somehow people do fall for the scam. I'm not going to make fun of you publicly, but I will silently judge you if you do fall for one of these. Once the bot has DM'd enough people, then it's going to go to phase 2, actually scamming people. So once the scammer kind of switches how the bot works, when you click on this button, it's going to do something different. It's actually going to ask you to authorize an external application to join servers for you. Let's say you authorize this Discord bot. What can happen is that the scammers can make you join any Discord server that the scam bot is in. So if you join a whole bunch of random Discord servers, you fell for the scam. So how do we fix that and unscam ourselves? You want to go to your user settings, go to authorized apps, and if there is an application that asks to join servers for you, just click on that big deauthorize button and deauthorize this piece of garbage. But then, as if out of nowhere, a friend of yours sends you a link to a Discord server. Now, typically it's some sort of NSFW Discord server, but it literally can be any server. The main thing is that when you join the Discord server, it's going to ask you to verify. Now, forgive me if the server banner is blank. I had to completely remove it because it was a butthole jump scare. But the way this verification system works comes in 2 different flavors. There's one where if you click on the verify button, it's going to tell you to scan a QR code with your Discord mobile app. Do not scan this QR code because if you do, you're signing into the scammer's computer. Now, the second flavor of the scam is a little bit different. But when you click on verify, it's going to tell you to verify yourself to gain access to the server, and you need to click here. And if you click on this link, it is going to take you to a website. Now, anytime I visit a scam website, I use this video's partner, NordVPN. In fact, every single server. And there's a lot more that NordVPN can do, so give NordVPN, that's bonus potentially by NordVPN. In fact, if we go back to the gander at this website is impersonating Captcha.bot. In fact, if we go back to the Discord server and we click on this Discord bot, it's supposed to be Captcha.bot, but instead it's verify, #0044. But on this website, it is going to tell you to press this to verify. And when you click on press to verify, it is going to pop up this Discord login page. And this pop-up is a Discord phishing website. This whole login page is fake. If you put in your username and your password into this website, you are giving it directly to the scammer. Now, there's a whole bunch of tips to tell you that this is a scam website, like for example, it being about : but the easiest way to tell if you're on a scam website is just open up a new tab, go to discord.com, and if you aren't logged into Discord, then it will tell you to log in at the top right. Make sure you are on discord.com for this. Then once you log in and you go back to discord.com, it should tell you to open Discord. This means that your Discord account is logged in on your browser right now, which means if a real website told you to log in, it would automatically do it for you. But in this case, if we refresh the scam website and we click on press to verify, it's not automatically logging me in. This is a scam. Run away. But what if you accidentally didn't know and you did log into this Discord website and now you're spamming all your friends with the same scam that you fell for? How do you recover your account? Well, it's actually really easy. All you need to do is just go to your user settings and change your password. Once you change your password, it's going to log out every single device on your account and you're all good to go. Now, if you did fall for that scam, in some rare cases, you might actually send out a scam link that looks like this. $50 for Steam, and it's a Steam community link. And this is our third scam we're going to talk about, the fake Steam gift card. Now, if we take a look at this message, it looks pretty legitimate. It's normal steamcommunity.com, nothing to be worried about. But this scam is abusing something called Discord's markdown masked links. Now, you probably have no idea what I just said there, so here's an example. With Discord, you can use formatting to turn words like this into links by just putting it in this format. And if I press enter, you will notice that that big YouTube link actually just turns into this word, which is now a hyperlink. And if I click on it, it's going to tell me what website I'm going to. In this case, it's YouTube. And for the Steam community scam, if you click on it, you're going to notice it's taking me to qptr.ru, not Steam Community, qptr.ru. And these scammers will always use link shorteners because if you visit the website they're trying to take you to is not Steam Community, but Steam I'm just giving up. But oh good golly, it sure looks like Steam. And it's telling me that to get my $50 gift card, I need to click on this get the card button. So I click on this button and it's taking me to a Steam login page. Now I don't want to get too nerdy on you, but this is a browser in the browser phishing page. You can tell because it looks like this is a new window, but if you try dragging it, it doesn't work. That's because this is just part of the website. And it's going to tell me to sign in with Steam. And exactly like what I told you in the last scam. Never sign into a website directly from the scam website. Always open up a new tab, go to Steam Community, log in through Steam, and make sure it's the Steam Community website. Remember, not Steam Community with the word salad. Make sure it's the real Steam Community website. And when you log into Steam and you go back to this website, which you're unsure it's a scam, if you refresh the page, if it's a real Steam website, you should already be logged in. If you fall for a scam like this, things are a little bit more difficult to recover your account because what you need to do is linked in the description, there will be this help Steam support page. And what you want to do is you want to say that your Steam account was stolen and you need to go through the recovery process because it's going to tell you to change your password, remove all authenticated devices. It's going to help you secure your account and Steam makes it a lot easier than me telling you because this is always up to date. It's going to be linked in the description. Now this next scam is honestly a doozy for me because it's talking about psychic sugar mamas, which for me that's just right up my alley. But it also talks about struggling artists and people who are giving you $3,000 for free. Now this isn't just one scam, but a collection of scams that operate off the same principle. You're going to have some random person out of the blue DM you. Specifically this Emily lady is advertising her art. She's an artist looking for commission to pay her mom's hospital bills. But anyways, this scammer is going to show you a whole bunch of art, which definitely isn't stolen art or generated from AI, and they're going to do art for you for a small fee. Or in some rare cases, you might have a psychic that will come to you and tell you the winning lottery numbers, but they just need $20 to get their psychic tools. Or maybe if you're a handsome brute like me, you might get a sugar mama who's going to absolutely just bathe you in money. You're never going to have to work a day in your life, and they're going to give you all that money if you just give them $30. Now, I'm not going to waste your time with the story. Basically, the way that these scams work is that they ask for money up front. If you give good old Emily here $30, she's going to run away with your money. Also, this person, this lady here, is not a scammer. This is just someone that their photo got stolen off Google. Here's the thing: these scams kind of evolved a little bit because another way the scam shows up is that someone is just asking you if you had $3,000 and it was deposited into your Cash App or PayPal. How would you spend it? $3,000 on food? Mikado avocado? Hello? Investments? Throw it all in Bitcoin and lose it all? Bills? I can't think of any other jokes here. But this person is going to ask you if you want $3,000. And if you go through the whole process, you give them your PayPal email, they're going to send you this piece of, it's a beauty. They're going to send you an email that's not even from PayPal, by the way. It's just directly from their email saying that a major finance company just sent you $2,800. What to do next? The payment of $2,800 is still pending. And to get this money, you're going to have to pay a $100 tax fee before the money is available in your account. And you already know what happens. When you send this scammer $100, they're not going to give you the $2,800. This person is going to run away. Here's a reality check for me to you. No one's going to give you free money unless you're sending someone photos of your feet. What the sigma? Yeah, that got a little weird. So let's move on to the next scam. It's the Discord support scam, or the I accidentally reported you scam. Now, this scam has a wax ton of different approaches and photos and fake certificates, but they all follow the same formula. What happens is that one of your friends or someone that you talk to sends you a DM on Discord. So it's someone you know, and it turns out they got hacked on Discord and they thought it was you. You hacked them because it turns out the hacker and you have a similar profile picture. And since that's the case, they accidentally filed a whole bunch of tickets on your account, which means you're going to get banned. And they send you a photo of this email here.
There it is. Magnum. Yeah, baby. That's what I've been waiting for.
You can see Jacob here is fraudulent because they have a current report of a legal purchase. And in this email, if you read it, it'll be very obvious this is a scam, but people don't read it because, again, they're scared they're going to get banned off Discord. Because in this email, it says, it seems that the reports you filed on this user, which you massive reported earlier today, cannot be revoked. And due to violating rules according to our Discord terms of service, this account has a pending ban for 10 hours before the full suspension. Pro tip, if Discord's ever going to ban you, they're not going to give you a countdown timer. They're just going to ban you straight up. But if Jacob does not want to be banned off Discord, then they need to contact the Discord support. And who is the Discord support? It's Candace Support 01 on Discord. And usually the accounts look like this. We can see that this is Support Candace. Apparently they're Discord support. Although, pay attention, there is no Discord staff badge, which is, again, another massive red flag that this is a scam. But if you add Candace, they're going to show you that they really do work at Discord with a professional certificate, like this one here, which is just a resume. If this was your resume, you would never get hired at Discord because this resume is complete dog water. And I mean that in terms of design, because here's the thing, there's actually a LinkedIn link to Candace's actual LinkedIn. Like, Candace is someone that works at Discord. They're in machine learning, data scientist, which, by the way, a data scientist would not be doing trust and safety. It's another red flag. But scammers will copy all the information off Candace's LinkedIn and put it in these fake resumes to try and look real. And by the way, they do that with every single Discord employee. This is James. Apparently he's part of the Discord trust and safety team, even though he's a security engineer. Yeah, apparently a senior engineering manager is going to be doing trust and safety. That doesn't make any sense at all, but sure. If you get in trouble on Discord, you're either going to get a system message from Discord that looks a little something like this, or you're going to get an email from Discord. But these scammers assume you don't know that. And what these Discord scammers will do is they'll ask you to change your Discord email to one of their emails so that your account will be under the Discord protection custody report. That does not exist, my man. But these scammers are going to tell you anything and they're going to threaten you and they're going to make you feel like you're getting banned so that you feel obligated, you feel forced to go to your Discord settings and to change your email. And if you change your email to their scam email, they now have full access to your account, which means they can go to the Nitro tab and they can buy a whole bunch of Discord Nitro for all of their friends or sell the Discord Nitro to make money. They can do whatever they want, but you can prevent all of this. If you have two-factor authentication on your Discord account, you actually get saved because with two-factor authentication, if you change your email, they can't change your password, which means they can't get into your account. But please, for the sake of my own sanity, please add two-factor authentication to your Discord account. But there's still a problem. Even if you have two-factor authentication, the scammers still have their email on your account and you can't just change it back. And what they're going to do with that is they're going to actually try and extort you out of your money. They're going to tell you that if you want your Discord account back, you're going to have to pay us $75. But I know a little too much about Discord, and I have some great news for you because you can get your account back without having to pay the scammer $75. And by the way, if you give them money, they probably won't even give your account back anyways, so never pay scammers. But if you fell for the scam, you need to go in the description to Discord's white page of doom and gloom. And you're going to fill out this form asking for help with a hacked account. Now you're going to enter in your email, your username, and for the email associated with the account before it was compromised, put down the email that you had before you changed it to the scammer's email. Now in terms of suspicion on how you believe the account was compromised, Discord doesn't have an exact section, so just change it to I don't know, I'm not sure. And for the rest of this form, just follow my template. For the subject, say that you lost your Discord account to fake support scammers, and for the description, I lost my account, put the username of your account to a fake Discord support scam. The original email on my account was your original email, and put the date that you were hacked. And from there, it might take a little bit, but Discord will eventually help you out. I've seen a lot of people actually successfully get their account back. Now, if those scammers bought a whole bunch
Getting the happy gas.
What did you take?
I asked the happy
I haven't
gas.
anything yet. I'm just having a look at all the.
There's a full golden armor thingy-mobile. That's crazy.
One super chat. That's only one. Do they need chew? Chew? Armenia. The video got 2 companies down.
Simple question. Which of these items is the healthiest? Is it
Salad.
this salad, this bracelet, this eye
Salad.
mask, or this badge necklace thing? Well, thanks to science, I can now use my healthometer to see which of these releases the most healthy particles. First, the salad. Nothing really here. That's odd. And the bracelet? Okay, getting a little better, starting to detect some health particles now. How about the eye mask? Now we're cooking with gas. And finally, the badge thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Wait, this isn't my healthometer. Somebody seems to have switched it for a Geiger counter. That's right, folks. These so-called wellness products, which all purport to do everything from boost your mood to cure your diseases and boost your health, are actually fairly radioactive. All of these items are sold as negative ion products, which are claimed to produce negative ions and be good for you. This isn't even the first time we've talked about these either. Last year I made a video deep diving into these quack medicine nonsense products and did a series of tests to not only show that they're radioactive, but determine exactly what radioactive element was inside of them. Last time we talked about these bracelets and pendants and several other items, and I want to quickly review those findings before we talk about some amazing updates and these new products that I found recently. So to review, last time we did 4 tests. First, we measured the items with a Geiger counter to get an idea of how radioactive they are. Then, we used a device called a cloud chamber to actually see the radioactive particles coming off of them. These tests alone were pretty damning, but I wanted to know exactly what was in them. To do that, I used gamma spectroscopy and measured the spectrum of gamma rays coming off the items. As a quick refresher, gamma rays are just very high-energy rays of light that come from the decay of radioactive elements. Each element will release gamma rays at specific wavelengths, so by measuring the spectrum, it's very easy to tell what's in the sample. In this case, it turned out to be thorium, a radioactive element next to uranium on the periodic table. Just to double check this result and confirm it, I sent a bracelet to the fantastic Adam McCombs, who runs an electron microscope lab, and he was able to use the microscope to also measure what material was in here, and his results matched mine. Some of the products we looked at last time were truly horrific. The bracelets are made by just mixing thorium dioxide powder into the plastic as it's made and end up shedding radioactive dust into your environment as you're wearing it. And considering you're meant to wear it all the time, this could well mean breathing in some of that dust. Worse still was this massager wand, which literally just had a pile of thorium dioxide powder inside, which could be accessed by pulling on the back plug. And the degeneracy didn't stop there. Some of the worst of these were full pieces of clothing or bed sheets, all potentially laced with this material. If you'd like to see a more in-depth analysis, I've linked to the previous video below and in the cards of this video. All of these items use the label negative ion and purport to release so-called negative ions, which they claim are good.
We gotta fix something because the maps are broken. FD Physics mod. Health equals -1. It uses module skips.
Good for you. When in reality, these products either do nothing or just slowly give you cancer, potentially. Now, this isn't to be confused with these air ionizers, which use electricity to generate those negative ions. But like the bracelets, they're quack nonsense all the same. Sure, they put out negative ions, and at least they're not radioactive, but they also release ozone, which is poison. So as a rule, when it comes to products that claim to make you instantly more healthy, you're better off just eating a salad and avoiding all this horseshit entirely. Now, before I talk about the new and equally horrific items that I found, I want to give a very exciting update. Since the last video, I was actually contacted by both representatives of Amazon and the US Nuclear Regulatory Commission about the video, and was asked to file a formal complaint with both. As a result, Amazon has now pulled dozens and dozens of these dangerous quack products from their site. And better still,
I asked, no push, but the challenge. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. Backfire. Enough. Another Romania from Steal. Steal, steal, steal. I'm just trying to go. Steal gun. Steal Romania. You can. Get up. Oh, gun. Oh, it's a gun. I stole a No, that's a joy. I just oh my, I just oh my, the flare! Perfecto! Perfecto, estoy seguro. Romania broke. Oh, that's right. That's probably because there's a fucking airplane. Right. Oh no! I fell through the gun. I just yeet the entire airplane straight out the gutter.
Disclaimer. This video is not very entertaining. If perhaps you don't care about what I have to say, you can either skip this timestamp to see when the content will resume or click off now. Thank you. Hello. So it's been some time, and I figured I'd give a little bit of an update to anybody that might be wondering where I am, which hopefully there's at least one person out there wondering. I could be talking to absolutely nobody right now. Honestly, this video might get like 3 views, but we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, I have some important info. First and foremost, I'm getting a new computer. So in the coming weeks, I'll be getting a new computer, which means that when content resumes, it will hopefully be much higher quality gameplay-wise. I can't guarantee an increase in skill, but you'll hopefully be able to see my lack of such in much higher definition. Secondly, I'm extremely happy to announce that I have become a YouTube partner. Basically, what this means is I'll have better opportunities to maybe make something out of this. It's really a matter of luck and a little bit of practice with my thumbnails because I am definitely not good at those. Now, it's time for what everyone, yes, including you who skipped to this time, came here for. Where's the content? Well, I have a bit of explaining to do, and this will take just 1 minute. By the time this comes out, I will have about 1 month left of high school until I'm done with it forever. And since there's a month left, there's not a lot of time left to procrastinate. I want to prioritize graduating high school without the pressure of having to record or stream something to put out. So, content will resume very shortly after May 31st. So, okay, I know that seems like a long time from now, but I will try to have at least 1 video up between now and then to hold you guys over a little bit. Videos will resume, but most importantly, live streams will be much more often. So, if you're interested in that sort of stuff, stay tuned. Some things you have to look forward to.
Why these people are complaining is because they bought cheap Nitro from some weird, sketchy websites. But why now did so many people within a span of a couple of days get their Discord Nitro taken away from them? And well, ladies and gentlemen, someone did the hard work of contacting Discord and actually getting a response after 3 days. I'm sorry to share the bad news, but I've checked the system and gifts associated with your Discord account has been revoked. Your Discord, I think you need Grammarly or something, or I just can't read right now. Based on our review, we determined that these gifts were obtained using fraudulent means. Personally, I don't think this is the whole picture, and I think there's more to it because I actually got a ticket from one of my viewers who was telling me that they found that Discord Nitro was cheaper than ever before. It was around €7 if you look at the turkey price for a year of Nitro, and they took the chance and bought 9 whole years of Nitro. In fact, they have screenshots of it. They had 115 months, 9.5 years, and ladies and gentlemen, next day, snapped in half to 67 months, which is 5.5 years. They instantly lost 4 years of Discord Nitro. But the way that they bought it is they didn't buy it from G2A, they bought it from a trusted seller, which a drug dealer could be a trusted seller. This doesn't mean anything. The main thing I want to point out is they talked about the price in Turkey. And then there was this comment. They think that people losing their Discord Nitro credits might be related to the recent situation with Discord being banned in Turkey. Man, perfect time to self-promote my own video. In fact, I made a video talking about how Discord was banned in Turkey. It got demonetized, so that's why I'm advertising it, because the algorithm's just not going to show it as much as it should. But since Discord got banned in Turkey, what I personally think is happening is that technically, according to Turkish law, everyone in Turkey should not be able to access Discord, which means they can't cancel their subscription. So Turkish banks might have preemptively done a chargeback on every single person's Discord subscriptions. And I think my theory might hold some merit because if all these banks are doing a chargeback, there might be so many chargebacks that Discord's email system didn't show you, oh, your Discord Nitro gift got revoked, or maybe it was something completely different. They did some sort of different system so that Stripe didn't charge them $15 for every single person in Turkey that bought Discord Nitro, which would be way too much money for Discord to spend. Or if you want to put on your tinfoil hat, it could be a conspiracy theory that Discord is trying to keep this on the down low, trying to silently take people's Discord Nitro. Regardless, I think Discord should have at least sent an email and they should get their shit together. But I also want to point out that in this message, when they talk about the recent situation with Discord being banned, they pointed out that the prices for cheap Discord Nitro are much more expensive now, which means that the supply of cheap Discord Nitro, usually from localized pricing, has decreased drastically, which lines up with my theory that chances are all the banks revoked all these Discord Nitro keys and they got wiped off the market and then the prices go up. Now, if you're someone that lost your Nitro, you might actually have to check if you lost it because again, Discord didn't tell you anything. You might be worried that are you going to get banned? Because like I said in this video, when you do a chargeback, Discord might result in an account suspension. Well, fret not. I sound fancy saying that. Fret not, my dear viewer. If it's only happened to you once, like you bought a year Nitro and it got revoked, definitely a no. You don't have to worry about being suspended. But if you keep going onto these websites and buying cheap Nitro gifts and they keep on getting revoked, Discord technically does have a reason to ban you because you are abusing or defrauding us or our payment systems. But if you did lose your Discord Nitro, you might be asking, can I get my Discord Nitro back? No. However, people on Reddit have pointed out that you can actually do a refund. This person bought their key on ENEBA, they contacted support and they refunded my purchase. The person on Kingwin, they refunded their money before Discord even responded to their email. So if you did buy cheap Discord Nitro because you just didn't know better or you're greeding out and you just wanted a good discount, at the very least, get your refund. But also don't be an idiot with this because in one of the comments, someone was saying that this person's probably just going to get refunded and consequently they just got Nitro for free because they bought Nitro and then it got revoked and they got a refund. It's a win-win situation instead of being scammed. Just remember, Discord does have a possibility of banning you, so it's not always a win-win. Anyways, in my personal opinion, if you... In life,
you have Roblox, says world-renowned producer, rapper, and songwriter DJ Khaled Muhammad Khaled after gently crashing his $10,000 Yamaha Wave Runner jet ski into a mangrove tree. In order to capitalize on this life-changing experience, he combined his love for Roblox and the trauma of voluntarily crashing an aquatic vehicle gently into debris into a game which made waves in the vast ocean of Roblox games. This was the tale of Build-A-Boat for Treasure. Nah, I'm just playing with y'all. No, just tugging on your John Chudletsky. Build-A-Boat for Treasure is a Roblox game made by Chill Studios, owned by Chill Thrill 709. Notable for his other creations such as Revenge of the Slimes, War of the Roblox Stars, and Trapped in the Robot Factory, Hobby. While all these games were very successful in their own rights, this silly little boat game he made in 2016 became his most successful and famous work because goddamn! Goddamn! So what do you do in this game? In Build-A-Boat for Treasure, you essentially build a boat for treasure. Seems pretty simple, doesn't it? Wrong! We all know that the fastest way to get to a destination is a straight line. Try pulling this method in this game and your boat will capsize instantly. There are many different areas and they have a bunch of obstacles they have to avoid or also damage your boat. A lot of these obstacles, you know, they make sense. You got a bunch of rocks? That's something you can find in the ocean. Fish? They swim in water. But sometimes you get some wacky, zany stuff like this. Where the hell did these come from? The back of Dunkin' after closing hour? And I swear to God, Chill Thrill 709 did some voodoo magic to get the spirits of all your ops imbued to this game. Bro, why is it this ball, bro? It's always this one ball. It's got beef with it. And these two ones, he got his friends too. He got his friends. They're jumping me now. They're jumping me. Oh, and the red guy, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no, now Zeus, you too. The balls got you in this. Okay, now they got the weather too. Oh my God. They got freaking Poseidon in this. Oh my God. The balls. To be able to reach the end in one piece, you need to beef up your boat so that it can take a bunch of obstacles, and if you don't have strong blocks, luckily this game gives you a boat motor and a car seat, so if you can't pass the first stage, that's a skill issue on your part. There are 10 total areas that vary in difficulty, and 7 of them constantly change. The 3 areas that stay the same are the entrance, which has small tiny rocks, the lighthouse, which has big rocks. You're basically screwed if your boat motor broke, and by some miracle that you survive that, there's the waterfall.
It goes down.
No, don't. Oh! Once you actually get to the treasure, you gotta do that 100 more times, because the reward is not enough to actually buy good items from the store. But once you do, you can finally purchase a decent amount of stuff to drip out your boat. You can also gamble Davy Jones's hard-earned treasure to get a piece of wood and a piece of wood, or spend more to get actually pretty good stuff, I'm not gonna lie. And if you slave away to get the treasure like a couple thousand times, you can also afford some pretty useful building tools. Now that we've discussed the premise of the game, I want to move on to the reason why I wanted to make this video. This is it. We're off to sail to find this treasure. Is astonishing. Build-A-Boat for Treasure is not an order. It is merely a suggestion. You got people building robots, planes, tanks, anatomically correct human faces, and a crap ton of vehicles that kidnap people. A concerning amount of vehicles that kidnap people. And who could forget the gold farms that people make? Because building an actual boat is not the most efficient way to actually win the game. Why waste your time, thoughtfully, skillfully, and strategically, making the most indestructible boat, only for it to sink like the Titanic in the lighthouse area, when you could just use 8 simple and cheap blocks to get to the treasure 20 times faster? You might think building this would take some deep, in-depth knowledge about the game's mechanics, but you just place them down normally. If I knew this a long time ago, I would have probably built like a bunch of cool stuff and kidnapped hundreds of people. In-game, there's a lot of different gold grinder designs that people have made, but the most notable one is probably this design because of how easy it is to build and use. You literally just build a plus, put a hinge in the middle, and trap yourself between 2 glue blocks. For some reason, a lot of Build-A-Boat players call this butter. I don't know what kind of butter y'all have been consuming, because these 2 substances are literal opposites of each other. After you're finished building it, you just press W and then spam space to reach Mach 10 speeds, and everything's smooth sailing from there. Except for that one area with stalactites. But if you forget that part, everything's actually smooth sailing from there. Okay, if you also forget the honeycomb area, everything is actually smooth sailing. You kind of have to slow down a bit when using these kinds of grinders because it takes a bit of time to register that you pass an area, which is also the reason why you can't just cheese the whole thing by just flying outside the map. And if you do, your chest will be laced with MFU Fluorondamap, a lethal substance that kills instantly upon contact. Also, if you're not a pro gamer like me and can't fly this design with utmost skill and ease, there's magnet designs that are more stable to use. Heck, why not just make an AFK farm? Yeah, have fun doing that. These farms make it possible for people to actually build cool stuff in the game without slaving away for hours battling Zeus, Poseidon, and comically large washing machines. And I think this is the reason why players don't quickly get bored of the game. And adding the fact that there are advanced building tools that can be purchased and essentially Minecraft Redstone, people have built stuff that ain't a boat in a game about building boats. Look at this working computer. That definitely ain't a boat. Bet it can't run Doom though. This ain't even a new thing either, since people have been building this type of stuff ever since its inception. The largest boat ever, and Build-A-Boat for Treasure. My guy, that's a plane. I've scoured through the internet to find some Build-A-Boat builds, and I can't even fathom how some of these were even made. Like how? And why does it actually move properly? These aren't just for show either, because people unironically use these to have the most epic mech fights in all of Robloxia. Michael Bay couldn't even create this with his millions of dollars of budget. Remember the Doom one I showed you earlier? That's not the only game players have made in this game. Hill climb racing, getting over it, Plants vs Zombies. Build-A-Boat MFs will do anything but to play the actual game, to the point that they remade games to not Build-A-Boat for Treasure. I work in Calc. For those of you that don't know, Calc is short for calculator. The Witherstorm from Minecraft story mode. We're killing Ruben again with this one. And let's not forget about the hundreds of mega builds. At this point, just boot up Roblox Studio, man. Now, a lot of us know about the famous lunch kit made by the famous YouTubers Mr. Breast, Toy Story Hatman, and Knowledge, Strength, Integrity, known as Lunch. And a lot of us also know that it has received multiple FDA complaints since consumers stated that they didn't like their cheese moldy. Bruh, but do you know what doesn't have regulations? Build-A-Boat. Okay, finally, an actual boat in Build-A-Boat. And if you don't get your ass out of here, though these builds aren't boats, they actually seem pretty cool and harmless. The ones on YouTube Shorts, on the other hand, are the most downright diabolical things you will ever see in your entire life. There are way too many of them involving a dog defecating on random unsuspecting victims, and they're all accompanied by the slow reverb version of Mama, I'm a Criminal. This is like the worst offender out of all of them.
Mama, I'm a criminal. Oh my God. Mama, I'm a criminal. Mama, I'm a criminal.
You would think that the video's about to end, but it just keeps on going. Also, why the hell do they look like Bloxors? Guys, look, someone made a 1/10 scale replica of Queso. Whoa, why is he getting freaky? Kidnapping prank. You didn't even have a chance to point where the camera is because he just straight up exploited the van. Everybody knows the thing separating pranks from literal crimes is crisp 4K 60 FPS footage. I don't even know how a number of these got past YouTube moderation because some of them have a plonker sticking out. This one has 8.3 million views, by the way. Build-A-Boat for Treasure may seem like a boat game at first glance, but it's a building game in its essence, and it does that very well.
Wow, I never saw this in my life, and that's why I'm here, because I'm just worried about your Steam account, so you can contact the Steam admin. Here's the Discord name. They thankfully give you the Discord name if you didn't see it in the screenshot that they sent you. Just send a friend request, and once he accepted, you can tell him that I accidentally report your Steam because I didn't mean to report you. So our little scam baiter decides to add this Smash fella, and goodness, Smash is right on the case. Hello, this is Smash Steam support admin. How may I help you? And they attach the Steam Rep screenshot. Man, Steam Rep, my favorite website. I was on there when I was a kid, and I would report all the scams I fell for, and man, I was a complete idiot. But it says that they're an administrator, and they are part of the wanted GOV team. Now, of course, I went to verify this myself, and the Smash character that we're looking at actually doesn't have any reputation at the moment, and I went to their Steam profile, and they used to actually be a retired community moderator, and of course, there's this bulgy Joker guy saying, hey mod, I think I need your help with ban on Steam. Someone reported me, in 11 hours I get banned for nothing. Is Smash the retired community moderator turning dark and starting to scam people on Discord? No, they're just being impersonated. So our little scam baiter says, someone reported me. My account should get banned. That's why I'm here. And of course, our hero, our Steam support admin on Discord, Smash is going to say, and they don't talk in normal text, they have to talk in whatever this is. I received the
This is me sneaking into the biggest YouTube videos in the world, and nobody noticed. Mostly. Every time the comments call me out, they get a point, and every time I go undetected, I get a point. I prepared a bunch of different disguises to make sure that I go undetected, but if I lose, I will do the top comment whatever this video says. I don't trust you guys. Now to help me do this, I'm teaming up with the biggest YouTubers in the world to help hide me in their videos, starting with Nick Giovanni. Well. Nick is possibly the biggest cooking YouTuber of all time, and he's filming a video where he's trying 100 years of McDonald's, so I thought of a genius disguise. And my role in this is a hamburger. Classic McDonald's character who's always trying to steal hamburgers. But in order to pull this off, I have a makeup artist, she's gonna transform me into the hamburger. I'm here to steal your burgers. So I made my way back to Nick's studio, but quickly things started to fall apart.
Hey, you're in the Uber?
I'm not in the Uber, I'm getting into the car.
Let's do the intro line while we're
Yeah, Nick is filming ahead of schedule. Apparently Max showed up early, so now we were racing to get to this place.
Max, can you guess why the first ever drive-thru opened?
I don't know. Now Max doesn't know this yet, but he's part of one big setup.
So we're just gonna listen to when Nick talks about the hamburger.
You're gonna send me in.
And it's all you at that point.
The first ever drive-thru was invented to serve soldiers who weren't allowed to leave their car while in uniform.
Max was still completely clueless, and he had no idea what was about to happen. Just do whatever you want. You have to be careful telling me things like that. Maybe not whatever you want. What do we got here? It's not gonna like jump out at me, is it?
Big moment.
I might be about to commit violence in this outfit. Wait, is this what I think it is? Who is it?
That's the Hamburglar. That's the Hamburglar.
Wow.
It's the Hamburglar.
Oh my gosh, look at
Holy
dude.
Yes, he's eating a burger. He's eating a burger. I mean, holy gosh, get the burger back.
I almost punched him. I think I did. I might have gone a little bit too far on Max with my performance, but my disguise was perfect, and there was no way, no chance I would get it.
Everyone watching right now, that's a well-known YouTuber. See if you can guess in the comments who it is.
I guess there's only one way to find out if I got caught, by reading the comment section. Shout out to Nick for basically telling the audience it was me. To review the footage, I have gathered a few of my friends. Hey guys, welcome. What do you think my odds are here? Zero. I think I have a shot. Let's see. Okay, we're chilling. That has to be Eric just popping in. Eric trying to be sneaky for another video. The talk on the last video as of filming this is sneak into the White House.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's the point of the comment section. Let's keep moving. Things were not looking so hot, but speaking of looking hot, I flew to Miami to meet my next YouTuber, Jesse James West, maybe the biggest fitness influencer on the platform. Look at that body. Frick. He's filming a video called Police Officers versus Fitness Influencers. They're gonna go through a bunch of challenges, one of which is mixed martial arts, and I'm getting sensei. Oh my gosh. Hey, so I went outside, got in my Uber. I'm sorry, I look really weird. And finally arrived at the spot Jesse told me to meet him at.
Bro, where are we? What is happening? What is that place?
The Miami-Dade Police Department. Bro, why would you bring me to a police station? You guys don't know, the police and I don't exactly have the greatest relationship.
Oh no.
This is actually bad. No, I'm good. We're good. While Jesse and his crew started filming.
Event number 1, we're going rep for rep, 350-pound deadlift.
I made my way past all the police officers to my new dojo. I don't know how to tie a black belt because I didn't earn it. Ooh. After lifting weights, Jesse and his cop friends were doing all kinds of big strongman things like this. I literally don't know what to call this. Meanwhile, I was learning how to look like I knew something about jiu-jitsu. That's like the go. Yeah.
All the way through, keep going.
If that wasn't worth the subscribe, I don't know what is. Unfortunately, my buddy Jesse ended up losing. My goal was to change that. And with the obstacle course event wrapped up, it was time for the boys to enter my dojo for the jiu-jitsu competition.
I actually look exhausted. I'm literally dying right now. Anyways, I'm trying to make my grandpa.
Yeah, okay. I think that if I talk, it's going to be a dead giveaway.
Have you ever had someone tell you that you shouldn't use Game Genie because it was harmful to your console? If you know me, I love the Game Genie, and I was genuinely curious if this was true. So I decided to gather every single model of the Game Genie ever released, and today we're going to take a look at them to see how they interface with each system and see if we can find any apparent reasons that these might be harmful to your retro hardware. The original Game Genie was released for the NES in 1990, created by Codemasters in England and marketed by Galoob in the US. A total of 5 Game Genies came out. The NES, Super NES, Genesis, Game Boy, and even the Game Gear all saw their own release of Game Genie, each designed to look as unique as the system it was made for. Quite honestly, these things were a godsend. Game Genie could do things like give you invincibility or infinite lives, and back in the day, games were designed to be so difficult that Game Genie was probably the only way most of us were going to see the end of some of those toughest games. It truly leveled the playing field. So let's take a look at the very first model, the Game Genie for NES. This is the one that started it all. The way this hooks up to your NES is by first sliding a game cartridge onto the female side of the adapter, then sliding the whole thing inside your Nintendo, pushing it all the way back in there. Then when you turn it on, you enter up to 3 lines or 3 wishes and hit start to start up your game. It was simple to use, and that was part of the beauty of it. The NES Game Genie is the one you'll hear most people having trouble with, where some people will say that it causes your Nintendo to stop reading cartridges. I actually took my Nintendo apart to see how this interfaces with the console, and unfortunately the way the NES was designed was that when you insert a game into the console, it will put stress on the connector that is responsible for reading your games. The connector is designed to be springy, where the pins are supposed to bend a bit when you insert a game to the console, so that it has a good connection. Now what ends up happening is that when Game Genies or game cartridges are left in the console for a prolonged period, the pins won't bend back to their original shape. They'll end up taking the shape they're bent in after a while. You'll see here when comparing the PCB to an official game, the board isn't unusually thick or anything, so this is more of a Nintendo design flaw than one introduced by the Game Genie. If you use one of these on your console, make sure to take it out of your system and disconnect the game from the Game Genie when you're done with it. Don't leave it in the console, or you're going to permanently bend the pins and have to repair or replace the 72-pin connector, and those third-party ones are not as good as the original. I also need to mention that cartridges plug in very tightly to the Game Genie unit, which is pretty much required for them to not get stuck inside of the console when you're pulling them out, like a death grip. Because of this, I assume there's going to be a slightly higher amount of wear and tear happening to the metal pins of the cartridge over time. But personally, I've been using my Game Genie on my games for over 20 years now and haven't had any trouble. The Game Genies for the 16-bit consoles were clearly a step forward. Both were a little bit on the bulky side when inserted into the console, but absolutely worth it for the advantage they provide. The Super Nintendo Game Genie unit here is very large. On the top, you've got the slot where you insert the game that you want to cheat on. And here, you've got this flap, I guess you could call it, which I suppose might help guide your cartridge and keep it steady while it's inside of the console. To be honest, the flap seems kind of unnecessary, but these things are going for a certain look to match the console, and the flap does provide a nice flat surface to put the Game Genie branding front and center. The officially licensed Sega Genesis release of the Game Genie was the one that I consider to be the best looking, as it's a little more reasonable on the size. Compact, sleek, this thing is ready to rock. The Game Genie for Genesis hooks up the same as the Super Nintendo design, where the cartridge plugs into the top and then the stick in your progress. Now this isn't all that likely to happen unless you're a Game Genie scientist trying to create your own codes, but you should be aware that this is possible. So what about the cartridge ports? Can they get messed up like the original NES? Well, both Game Genies insert into the console like this, plugging straight down into the port, just like a normal game cartridge does. These updated Game Genies won't put any unusual stress on the port, but again, you probably wouldn't want to leave these units plugged into the console after you're finished playing. So finally, let's take a look at these big guys, the mobile Game Genies. Codemasters put out models for both the Sega Game Gear and the original Game Boy, and these were some clunky units, crafted to match the chunkiness of the OG portables. Again, the Game Genie technology and design had improved over the original NES version, with buttons that allow you to turn on and off the codes during play, and even a reset button that reboots the console and brings you back to the code entering screen. But the best part of these Game Genies is that they both have a very compact little compartment in the back of them, which houses a little book of cheats for various games. I absolutely love how compact these books are. These books are so awesome for bringing a little Game Genie action on the go. As far as if these portable Game Genies are bad for your console, not in my opinion. They just slide in the cartridge slot like any old cartridge. Sure, it makes these units a little bulkier than they were to begin with, but they don't add much weight. Just makes the portables a little bit more awkward to wield. These things were good quality products that were well designed and well built, and that goes for all of the Game Genie models. They don't have that cheap feeling to them like so many products today. To be honest, I wish they made a more compact version of these, maybe one for the smaller Game Boy Pocket. These ones were so big they look goofy. Can you imagine walking around like this? So overall, my findings are that these Game Genies aren't anything to worry about. They're not going to destroy your console under any normal circumstances. I would highly advise you not to leave any of these Game Genies in your system for a prolonged period of time, and make sure to remove your game from the Game Genie when you're done with it. But yeah, I would highly recommend picking one of these up. They're still very
cartridge slot. If we flip it over, this here is a NES on a chip. It's a combination of all the chips in an original Nintendo, except for this one, which is apparently separate on this board, even though it's nothing special. The rest of the stuff on here is just supporting componentry. Now, where's everything going to fit? That, I guess, can go there. These can go, I guess first I'll just make space in the case. I'll get rid of everything I don't need. Ah, hit me in the eye. I want this to sit down flat, but this bit here's in the way. I'm going to have to very carefully remove that. There we go, that looks good about there. Now we're going to need a hole in the other half of the casing. Just trace around another cartridge. Chalk markers are handy for stuff like this because you can wash it off afterwards. You won't have to see it. Sorry, Mario! Now does that fit? That's close enough, I reckon. I'm just sticking this in temporarily with blue tack so that I can get everything in the right spots. Wow, look at that. Cutting the leads on the controller ports has enough force to shoot the solder off the PCB. Or that one just hit the ceiling. These controller ports really are not going to fit in there as they are now. Slim controller ports. All the controller ports to go about here. And it should work. So if I plug them like this, then all I need to do is extend this to here, so I can use these as connectors. And all I have to do is a whole heap of wiring. Now I can plug the cartridge into itself, and then hopefully play... No, not NES Open. Yeah, there we go. For some reason I just needed to reset it. I sure will try to golf well, Mr. Whoever you are. I've heard of plenty of consoles with built-in games, but I might have just made the very first game with a built-in console. What should I name this thing? Chuck me some comments with your ideas. NES Ball. As you can see here, I collect retro video games. I'm always buying something or other, and if you'd like to see everything that I...
Minecraft has the biggest modding scene in the world, and when you have so many mods and such a huge community, it's not surprising if there are a few bad actors. Over the years, a small handful of mods have been exposed for containing malicious code, allowing them to do anything from banning specific players, crashing people's games, blacklisting servers, taking control of servers, or containing dangerous malware that completely infects computers whilst silently spreading to other mods and then stealing sensitive information. Today we talk about the Minecraft mods exposed for malicious code, some of which I'm sure you've heard of or even played before, and some of which are still around today. In 2020, a Minecraft mod known as Corel Tombstone, a mod which has a bunch of custom features relating to deaths in game, including tombstones, graves, magic, and much more, was exposed for having malicious code. The mod was popular, used in a variety of very popular mod packs, popular enough as a matter of fact that another mod developer would take decompiled code from the Corel Tombstone mod specifically related to particle effects and add it to their own mod called Treasure 2, another quite popular mod which adds various new and rare chests to the game. The creator of the Corel Tombstone mod, Corel31, disliked this and deliberately added malicious code to his mod that would crash the game if you tried starting it with his mod and any of the Treasure 2 mod developers' mods, claiming it didn't respect Tombstone's license. Another developer made a bypass for this crash, so Corel31 made the game crash if his mods were present too. Now, what's interesting is that apparently the developer of Treasure 2 removed Corel31's code and wrote his own particle code after, but Corel31 did not believe him. Basically, Corel31 was so upset that another mod developer temporarily used part of his particle code that he entirely blacklisted his mod from working with that developers and another who made a bypass, forcing the game to crash. Now, understandably, the out-of-the-loop general player base, many of which had this mod part of their mod packs, were extremely confused at why their game would no longer start anymore, prompting a Reddit post to eventually be made exposing the situation. This would lead to Corel31 receiving a lot of backlash and would lead to CurseForge removing the mod due to a TOS violation. Corel also deleted his GitHub repos where the mod was available after. Many people considered Corel's behavior a complete overreaction and he received a lot of negative attention. However, it seemed the situation eventually was sorted out and the malicious code was removed, so it could be reinstated on CurseForge, where it currently remains today with over 60 million downloads. Now, fortunately, this situation ended up resolving itself. However, it is not the first time malicious code has been added to a mod targeting specific players or other mods for various personal reasons. Another mod known as Better Questing, a mod that adds a variety of configurable and customizable in-game quests, very popular in a variety of mod packs, was also exposed for similar a few years ago. In early 2020, a Reddit post would be made whereby players discovered undocumented and mostly hidden code recently added to the Better Questing mod that would harm specific players who took advantage of an exploit of the mod using a hacked client that allowed them to get operator access on servers. Effectively, if the mod detected the player was using that client, the mod would de-off the player from the server, reset their inventory by deleting all of their items, reset their quest progress, and then ban them from the server. You may be thinking, why are people so upset? The mod developer tried to do a good thing, right? Well, one important thing to remember
remember is that many players place a lot of trust in mod developers. Downloading and running mods after all means running code another random individual has created, which can be harmful. So when a mod developer is willing to institute an almost entirely undocumented change, regardless of their intentions, it makes the dev come off as untrustworthy. Furthermore, many people felt such an addition to the mod was overreaching. It's not the mod's job to function as an anti-cheat, with many players mentioning the dev should just focus on patching the bug instead. After all the backlash the dev received, he decided to remove the code and the drama ceased. The same can't be said for another mod which did similar though. Ironically, around the same time this was all happening, another big mod developer named Landmaster would get into some hot water. Landmaster was the developer of two mods in particular, Landcraft, a rather complex mod that added a new dimension to the game with a variety of new mobs, tools, and materials, as well as a mod called +TIC, a mod which added a variety of new content to another popular mod called Tinker's Construct. Anyways, in January 2020, a player would make a post to the Feed the Beast subreddit, the largest Minecraft modding subreddit, joking about how a specific texture in the Landcraft mod known as thorium looked like diamonds, calling Landmaster a butt for doing so. Players in the comments would then proceed to trash talk the Landcraft mod, mentioning it was a dumpster fire made by an 8-year-old that didn't deserve the over 800,000 downloads it had accumulated. People also complained that its inclusion in popular modpack Project Ozone 3 ruined the modpack for them. And looking at screenshots of the mod, it is, well, a bit harsh on the eyes. Anyways, Landmaster took offense to being called a butt and added malicious code to the mod, preventing the original poster of this thread from playing the mod as well as his other mod +TIC. He added a Minecraft account or UUID block. Adding such malicious code broke CurseForge's TOS, and as such, all of Landmaster's mods were removed from CurseForge entirely. This broke many modpacks as +TIC was used in many that relied on progression. Remakes of +TIC would eventually be released, but the original +TIC and Landcraft are still not available for download to this day, and it seems that Landmaster does not develop mods anymore. Be sure to subscribe, by the way. We are on the brink of 750k subs, and all it takes is a few thousand of you to get us there before the end of the year. No pressure. Traincraft, a transport-focused mod adding trains and various other transport-related features to the game, also was exposed after it was found to have code in it that would crash the game if specific players tried to play. Hilariously, this time it seems like the dev just decided to keep adding players to this blacklist whenever they annoyed or criticized him and his mod. This eventually turned into a sort of joke, with even players requesting to be banned from the mod, and the mod dev accepting and adding them to the ban list. Other people discovered they were randomly on the ban list for no reason, despite not even knowing what was going on. For example, this player who was involved with a Minecraft server host found out they were banned because of their autism. There are also a few other funny ban reasons here, including one where it says, player, you have been banned from using the mod since this is a GitHub release, and I can do whatever I please, or you will pay for all eternity infinite. This even got to the attention of a Minecraft community manager who condemned the behavior, but mentioned there was nothing they could really do. Eventually, a banned player would report the mod to CurseForge, would take it down. The dev of the mod was not happy about this and doubled down, removing the code that would crash players' games, with the dev instead adding code that would remove specific textures from the game for these blacklisted players, which apparently was not in reach of CurseForge's TOS and allowed the mod to be reinstated. Quite a funny story. And this isn't the only funny but petty story. Almost 12 years ago, the developers of two very famous Minecraft mods, GregTech, a mod notorious for being extremely grindy and having an extremely dedicated following, and Tinker's Construct, another hugely popular mod, would get into some very long and amusing drama. This all began in 2013 when an item duplication bug between the two mods was found, where players were able to get more ingots from a block of iron or other ores and metals, for example. The developer of Tinker's Construct would be alerted of this exploit and would add a warning message that would appear in the chat whenever you loaded a world, telling players to disable a specific GregTech feature. The developer of GregTech didn't like this, claiming that the exploit was due to Tinker's Construct instead. So he would add his very own long warning message to the chat, calling out the developer of Tinker's Construct and telling players that in order to disable this long message, they needed to bug the Tinker's Construct dev until he fixes it. Eventually, the matter was resolved when the Tinker's Construct dev added a config to fix it. But this was not the end of the drama. A few months later, the Tinker's Construct developer would add code that would override a specific recipe in GregTech, changing it. The GregTech dev was once again not happy and added code to his mod that would check if the recipes had been changed upon starting a world server, and if they had, the server would be stopped or the game would be crashed. After a lengthy 10-hour argument, both devs removed their offending code, but the Tinker's Construct dev would later re-add it as a configurable setting, so Greg added code that would force the Tinker's Construct dev to constantly wear a pumpkin of shame on his head. A lot more back and forth between GregTech and Tinker's Construct fans and occurred, but the issue was mostly resolved. Then again, a few months later, another drama arose. Greg added code to his mod which created logs if specific items didn't follow his item naming style in code. The Tinker's Construct dev disliked how often players were mistakenly reporting these as bugs and added code to his mod that caused the log messages to stop, which also caused no blocks or items in GregTech to have crafting recipes. After more arguing, this setting in Tinker's Construct was made optional, and Greg blacklisted all Tinker's Construct items from his logging function. However, there was one final drama. Due to a bug report, the developer of Tinker's Construct would add code to his mod that would cause a startup message to appear whenever both Tinker's Construct and GregTech were present, warning players of the dangers of GregTech. This message didn't last long before it was removed due to backlash from the community, and I'm unable to find a screenshot of it online, but not long after the dev of Tinker's Construct resigned and the drama fizzled out. While it's mostly forgotten now, there were so many threads about this drama from the time, and it's very funny to look back on. Pixelmon is one of the most famous Minecraft mods that there is, and it's had quite a share of drama, but we'll be focusing on one specific occurrence. In March of 2013, it was discovered that the Pixelmon mod had disguised code in it that allowed the Pixelmon developers to remotely shut down servers and blacklist them, as well as ban specific players from playing on such servers. The Pixelmon devs were effectively able to choose what servers could and couldn't run their mod, and what players could and couldn't play them. And considering how popular some Pixelmon servers were, getting hundreds of players daily, this was a very, very big deal, as it was effectively the same as a backdoor. Many players were upset when this information would come to light on Reddit, believing it to be an overreach of power and a breach of trust. The Pixelmon development team would make a statement claiming that the code was added in order to protect servers from serial abusers, basically players who cheated often. This did not fly with the community though. It was not the Pixelmon development team's job to moderate servers, and this still didn't account for the fact that they could remotely shut down and blacklist servers. The drama got so heated that even Mojang developers would respond, mentioning what the Pixelmon team was doing was not okay, putting pressure on them to release a new version of the mod with the code removed. The Pixelmon devs would eventually oblige, removing the code from the mod, but then a few days later would DMCA a YouTube video discussing the drama, getting it taken down. More drama than ensued, but eventually things returned to normal. So far in this video, all the mods we've talked about exposed for having malicious code haven't gone as far as to actually cause damage to users' computers or attempt to steal sensitive information. Well, only a few months ago, a Minecraft mod was exposed for containing some very dangerous malware. A Minecraft Windows borderless mod, a mod which adds a setting to the game allowing you to play in Windows borderless mode, similar to many other applications and games, was found to contain a dangerous program. Windows borderless mods are common and are used by millions of players, including myself, so this mod was clearly intentionally trying to hide itself and promote itself through that fact. Modrinth, the platform the mod was hosted on, would release a blog post stating that if you downloaded and ran the mod between May 4th and May 6th of this year, you were affected. The mod harvested sensitive data from Chromium-based browsers, which included account tokens, stored passwords, banking information, personal addresses and information, as well as much more. The user who reported the malware in the mod happened to get their Discord account stolen by it. Fortunately, only a few hundred people were affected, but the same cannot be said for the next mod, or rather series of mods that were affected by potentially the most deadly malware attack in Minecraft modding history. In June of 2023, a series of Minecraft mods were found to contain dangerous malware, which would be named Fracturizer. A malicious player uploaded a variety of mods containing malicious code to CurseForge, which a high-profile modpack developer, likely speculated to be the better Minecraft modpack developer, downloaded, which infected files on their computer without their knowledge. One of the many infected files happened to be a mod which was then uploaded to CurseForge. Furthermore, a variety of other mods and even plugins on Bukkit were affected in the same way, with there being speculation that some mod developer accounts on CurseForge were hijacked by the malware developer, who then used these accounts to upload more infected mods. This malware was able to bypass CurseForge and Bukkit's virus checks as it hid itself in layers known as stages, whereby it initially acts as a normal mod, then saves
destroy a computer's memory, then makes itself automatically run on startup, obfuscated and hidden of course, then finally steals your sensitive information. It was a very complex and detailed malware. Obviously, as mentioned, the goal was to steal sensitive information, such as Discord credentials, Microsoft and Minecraft credentials, browser cookies, passwords, and more, even including replacing cryptocurrency addresses that were in the clipboard with alternate ones, likely owned by the attacker. The malware also continued downloading other malware every time your computer started. Thousands of people were affected as minimum, including at least 20 mods, 6 mod packs, and 36 bucket plugins. Interestingly, there were actually ties in this malware's code to another malware incident, this time in Minecraft plugins. About 8 months prior to Fresherizer in September of 2022, malware was reported to be found in a variety of Minecraft plugins used on Minecraft servers. This incident was eventually named Skyrage and occurred as a Spigot plugin developer's account was compromised, leading to plugins being uploaded with malware inside. It was very difficult to isolate which plugin or plugin specifically Skyrage was hiding in, as once a server was run with an infected plugin, it would infect all other plugins and the server jar too. It also installs malware into the server's operating system, effectively allowing it to do whatever it wants. Eventually, a Skyrage malware removal was made, which was able to check and clean all plugin and server jars, and supposedly not long after the Skyrage malware disappeared. The original source of Skyrage has never been found, and what's even scarier is that it's technically still active today, with reports still appearing online every so often from players who have downloaded shady plugins, or even legitimate plugins which may be infected. And that about wraps everything up. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you.
This tutorial, Roblox fake link, private server, fake educational purposes, VIP fake server beaming 2023. Now this video that is 2 minutes and 23 seconds is just a screen recording with god-awful music in the background. So I'm scrolling down to the description and we're going right to the website. When I click on this link, I end up on this page here, the best free phishing generator. And what does this website do? Well, I need to enter in a Roblox username of someone I want to impersonate. This name sounds pretty popular in Roblox, my fake username, and we have this webhook field here. What is that? Good question, because you're about to be learning today, boy. A webhook is basically a thing you can make in Discord. So you right click on a channel, edit channel, you go to integrations, create webhook, you can create whatever the heck you want, and you copy this URL. And what it allows you to do is that this little link here allows you to send messages to a specific Discord channel. So for example, if I go to a website like DiscoHook, paste in this webhook URL, and I just type in some random stuff. If I click on send here, you will see that a message gets sent through the webhook onto my Discord server. Using that knowledge, if I go back to the scam website and I paste in my webhook here, this means that if I scam someone, it will send a message through this webhook onto my Discord server where I get all those free Robux. So I click on create now, and once I do that, I land on this page here. There's a leaderboard. We can see how many people basically got scammed. Holy, as you can tell though, the Roblox scamming community might have some mental brain damage. Drop down the stairs too many times. Scrolling down, we have this profile URL, and this is my scamming link that I'm going to send to people and get a whole bunch of money and become one of those uber rich Roblox scammers. Even though statistically, most of them make less than minimum wage because they're broke and stupid. So if I open up this URL here, we can see that it looks exactly like Roblox, but the link here is roblox.ge. Now it's time for me to start scamming people. So I copy this URL and I have the perfect victim to scam. Look at this fat, ugly, smelly, chronically online loser. I'm going to scam him. Now the way that these Roblox scammers will try to approach you depends on how smart they think you are. If you are an absolute numbskull, they might just send you the straight up scam link, just completely like this. It's obviously a scam link. It says roblox.ge. Let's say they think of you as a smart person. Well, they might try using Discord's markdown feature to mask their links. So if I send this here, you will see that I have this www.roblox.com link, but if I copy this link and I paste it into my browser, it takes me directly to roblox.ge. Now I have one more trick up my sleeve. Basically, let me just delete these messages real quick, and I paste in this massive chunk of spoilers and underscores in the link. My message will look like this. There's no link at all. It's just this little embed here, and a lot of people really do fall for this. It's super simple, but people fall for this. And when they click on this link here, it will take them to the scam website. Now enough fit farting around, let me get scammed here. So I'm gonna click on join, and it's gonna prompt me to log in. So I made my new Roblox account and I need to log in. I should be logging into my account. Let's see, baby. Okay, so I get booted out of my account and I go back to the normal roblox.com website. Now while I just got my account scammed, in the background I got a message from a bot on my Discord server. In fact, this was the webhook that I made sending me a message letting me know that I scammed someone, and it's time for me to imitate what scammers do when they scam someone. Yo, what is up guys? I just scammed this kid on Roblox, beamed him out of a whole bunch of Robux. Oh, let me change that real quick. Let's try to make it look good for the video. Don't know why I'm British and my accent will probably fall apart the longer we go on. Alright, he's got a whole bunch of Robux, and let me continue on with the video to make people go to my awful website. I just beamed 10 bajillion Robux from this guy, and I'm excited about it as if I won the lottery, and I'm not thinking about the fact that I just stole money from a poor innocent kid that fell for a scam. Anyways, if you actually go through the torture of watching these tutorial videos, they show you scamming people that have a whole bunch of Robux on their account. They're glorifying the scamming to try and convince you to use their service. And the reason why is because this website is not as it appears. In fact, this website is something called dual hooked. A lot of people want to scam. So what these websites do is they get all these dumb scammer kids to send all these scam messages to people and hack a whole bunch of Roblox accounts. But if you manage to strike it rich in the scamming world and you scam someone with a very high account value, so they have like, I don't know, like 10,000 Robux, the victim's account information is not sent to your webhook, it is sent to the scam website owner's webhook. And that's what dual hook means. You got scammed out of your scam victim. Now the funny thing is that there are even more websites exactly like this. In fact, look at this next tab. They have the exact same name, but it's a different website and they do the same thing. It's the Roblox username, fake username, webhook, but this website has a dual hook generator. So you could be the person getting all the high value accounts. And if you just believed what I said, you are an absolute idiot because this is not dual hooked. When you make a dual hook generator, it is now triple hooked. God, this is getting confusing. Now, why are people even interested in scamming in the first place? Well, of course, you have the low level crooks. These are the stupid kids who parents won't give them Robux, and these kids instead will resort to stealing it from other people. But usually along the way, they end up falling for fake scams like this one where they compromise their own account, or they will, of course, download malware, which is kind of ironic and it's funny, but at the same time, it's just bad overall. And it also doesn't help that when you search for Roblox beaming just in general, there are videos of people that are like overhyping it, beaming a fatherless kid out of 200,000 Robux. Those are the level 1 crooks, and now we have the level 100 mafia bosses. But these are the big time losers. These are teenagers and adults that, once again, they steal Robux, they steal money from innocent kids. And what do they do with that money? Do they invest in a 401k like a responsible adult? No, what they do is they, of course, spend all that Robux on gambling websites. And if you don't know already, Roblox is going through quite a bit of a news tirade right now because Roblox is facing a class action lawsuit regarding their gambling websites.
Actually, it's not Roblox's official website. It's a third-party website that uses Roblox's items as currency. Okay? Thank you. Yes, stop spreading false information.
There are a lot of teenagers that scam for the sole intent of feeding their gambling addiction. And man, as someone who's been on the internet for a long time, this reminds me 100% of Counter-Strike skin gambling, and I love seeing it. Gambling's hilarious, and that's probably not the best thing to say. I'll get canceled on Twitter for saying this. I'll probably cut this. I really hope these people, like, go to their high school.
I am very scared.
What would happen if an server players would quit in droves after realizing their bases were griefed or soon? As multiple month-long master plan, Bedrock players including F now spends his days still attempting to find another human exploit. This pleases with the failure of the first, but it seems his efforts are ultimately in vain, or are they? Be sure to subscribe and join the server. Thank you all so much.
In this video, I'm going to show you the very first time the word f*** was used in a video game. Nowadays, swearing in video games is nothing surprising, but this was not always the case. Swearing really wasn't accepted in video games at all until the 90s when rating systems became commonplace. Originally, I wanted to discover the very first swear word in a video game, but the definition of what a swear word is kind of fuzzy. It relies a lot on where and how you were brought up, and even your cultural background. So that made finding solid information very difficult. For something that nobody's going to argue with, I decided on the first ever F-bomb, and that guy lives in here. This is actually a NES game. This game is called Bakutoshi Paton-kun, which roughly translates to Explosive Fighter Patton. This is a Nintendo family computer, better known as a Famicom. This is the Japanese version of the NES. I reckon it's way cooler. As an expansion, Japan got the Famicom Disk System, which takes these 3-inch floppy disks. This disk system worked perfectly 2 days ago when I was preparing for this video, and now it has decided to just keep reading the disk over and over again without stopping. The Famicom disk system may just be the most unreliable piece of video game hardware in existence. Thankfully, I have other options. This is called a Sharp Twin Famicom. Sharp got the license from Nintendo to make their own unit, which is basically just a Famicom and a disk system in one package. These things are super cool. Hopefully the disk side of this still works. Yay! 1988. The first in a video game. Such calming music for a game where you essentially murder each other with big guns. Let's have a game, shall we? Instruction. Or game start. Let's just jump in. I'm waiting. Sure, I'll just choose that one. Waiting again. Oh dear! Turn to side B and insert to f***ing box. There it is. The very first F-bomb in a video game. I actually found this accidentally a few years ago. I bought a huge bunch of Famicom disk system games and I was testing them all because, you know, you can't trust floppy disks. And this thing just suddenly popped up on my screen. I laughed so f***ing much, I knew this was something special. Apparently, the disk system is a f***ing box. As far as I can tell, this is somebody who doesn't really know English trying to be trendy in a way that they don't understand. I will turn to side B and insert to f***ing box. And now we can start the nice relaxing murder. This game's a pretty typical tank combat game with a few extra features. Once you destroy your opponent's tank, they have to run around and try and avoid you. Eventually a new tank is airdropped in and they can get in it to keep playing. The same thing happens if your own tank gets destroyed. I can't let them get that tank. Yeah, there goes one of them. Now there's a spare tank. If someone gets their tank blown up, they can try and get that to keep going in the game. Hopefully it's not me. Although it's... it is me! Each level's different, and there are actually power-ups, although they don't seem to appear very often. Is that a power-up? Oh, I didn't get it. Oh yes, it is a power-up. Look, I get to steal my bullets. The construction option is actually to make your own custom tank specs. You get 30 points to spread through speed, turn, range, and armor. You can test your tank with the Player 2 controller. And your tanks get saved to the disc, so you keep them forever. I can't get through the nostrils. I've been collecting video games for a while, and I'm often buying new things. I take a photo...
As the first F-bomb.
Nothing like a gaming session with the boys. Dude, what is up with your mic?
Stop talking!
Microphones can't be that expensive, right?
What's the average price of a microphone? Okay, well let's see how much money I've made from YouTube this week.
I gotta find some way to make money. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Become a Roblox developer. Let's make a game that has patent and become the richest person in the world.
What type of game am I trying to make? I'm thinking like Grand Theft Auto 6, but like in Roblox. So we need like a big map, we need buildings, cars, weapons, all that stuff. But first we need to pick a template. We got base plate, classic base plate, flat terrain, laser tag. Alright, I'm gonna go with flat terrain because I'm gonna like build the mountain valleys and stuff. I'm gonna Oh, this is like actually traumatizing to look at. So this is where we can like purchase pets. I'm still adding the option to like purchase them. How did you get in there? How did you get in there? I'm hungry. Let's go over to the J Donald's over here. It's like McDonald's but better. Let me move. Everyone get in line. Get in line. Oh my god. Let me go back and make you guys food. Hold on. Get out of the kitchen. Let me cook. Wait, is it
Just turn it to O block.
Yeah, bro. Wait.
Can you nuke the server?
Yeah, I'm gonna nuke the server. Wait, watch this. I got like a crazy weapon. It's a bomb with like rocket launcher stuff on it or something. I don't know. It's time. Look, I got a nuke. No! I'm so sorry. Oh no. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. I'm sorry. How do I shut the game down, please? Okay, the game has been privated. Me privating the game is better than me releasing it. I'm honestly, I think I'm gonna have to do an apology video now for that.
I made a severe.
I'm sorry for not optimizing this game for mobile. I'm sorry for putting everyone's computers through hell, and it will not happen again.
Golden Freddy has been a topic of debate for nearly 10 years now, and most of the debate has revolved around who possesses the animatronic and what makes them so special. There's been a lot of talk about this topic recently, so I thought I'd make a video detailing exactly what I think about Golden Freddy, featuring evidence that you may have never heard before. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. While researching for this video, I've once
Over the years, I've noticed that Roblox games have changed. When I started playing it, it was a much simpler time with simpler games. Most games that you'd see in the front page would be tycoons, minigames, and these weird as hell hobbies. I've seen a lot of games come and go, from dominating the front page to dying from obscurity. Games like R2D, Swordburst 2, Catalog Heaven, Roblox's top runway model, the normal elevator, and the list goes on. A lot of these games were very influential to the platform and helped shape the Roblox that we know and love. Hold on, there's a typo here. There we go. The Roblox that we know today. But I've noticed a certain game type that became so popular that it basically became an infamous genre of Roblox games. It's gotten so big to the point that Roblox added a new section in the front page just for these types of games. I'm talking about Roblox Simulator. Oh! If you browse through the Roblox games page, you've probably seen a bunch of games that are so-called simulators. These types of games can be categorized into two different groups. There are some that actually fit the definition of a simulation video game, which is a game that attempts to copy various activities from real life, or a more loose definition of imitation of a situation or process. Examples of games like this are Gas Station Simulator, now called Zack's Service Station, where you and other players try to keep a dying gas station business from going bankrupt. Cook Burgers, which is a game where you could cook burgers, and also deep fry rats and serve them to customers. Don't tell the food inspector I told you that. And Cleaning Simulator, which is actually one of my favorite games on the platform because of the uniqueness of its art style. If you crop the screen just a little bit, you probably wouldn't be able to tell whether you're playing Roblox or not. Actually, a lot of games can fit in this category. Arsenal? More like Gun Simulator. Tower Battles? More like Tower Defense Simulator. Oh wait, that's actually another existing game. Very creative name you got there. On the other hand, there are these simulators that gained a somewhat infamous reputation in the platform. If you ask any Roblox player to name a simulator,
they'd probably think of these kinds of games. While yes, they do sometimes fit in with the previous category, but the sheer copy-paste nature of these games are what sets it apart from the others. These simulators have turned into a massive cash cow of a game genre in Roblox, with multiple game passes that cost hundreds and maybe even thousands of Robux. This simulator boom might have all started around 2018 with the release of games like Bee Swarm Simulator, Treasure Hunt Simulator, and Pet Simulator. These games had very repetitive gameplay similar to Tycoons. Click to make money, buy upgrades, but with a tad bit more microtransactions. At the time, games like these were very new to the platform and some were actually really fun to play. But soon, a lot more games popped up trying to grab onto this trend. This genre quickly just turned into a massive soulless copy of the last, with its only purpose is to milk your wallet dry. Everywhere you look, there's simulator this and simulator that, overshadowing the actual decent games that deserve more attention. And then this reskinned Minecraft-looking ass four-legged cube decided to change the whole f***ing site. It was like an easy cheat code for when money was discovered. Pet Simulator obviously had this first. Well, at least I thought it was. I did some digging and fell into a rabbit hole of which game actually had these first. I eventually found out the Mining Simulator had these before Pet Simulator did. Mining Simulator was released first, but it didn't have pets on release, so I thought they added pets sometime after Pet Simulator blew up. However, on this video called U8 Codes Roblox Mining Simulator March 2018, around the 1 minute mark, behind the guy, you could see a familiar looking square with iconic sparkling eyes appear. Turns out, Mining Simulator had pets 6 months before Pet Simulator was even released. But it took a while for other simulators to implement this pet aspect to their games. But once developers figured out that if they put a simple cube with 4 legs in their game, their profits would skyrocket, it started a domino effect. More and more simulators started having pets, to the point that it doesn't even make sense anymore. Like, why would you ever need pets inside a simulator where you lift weights? Do you need it to spot you or something? It probably can't even lift a 10-pound weight. The influence of pets was so big on the platform that there's this one game that changed drastically because of it. Some of you might probably know this, some of you may not. It's a small obscure indie game called Adopt Me. I actually played it when it first came out, when you had to join the group to be able to play. It was a new take on the Adopt and Race games and it was honestly pretty enjoyable. It was like Meep City, but without the online daters. And then the Pets update was released, and that changed the whole game altogether. The game wasn't being played for its original purpose anymore. The only thing that anyone cared about was pets. This game basically turned into a kid-friendly gambling ring, and players are just buying pet eggs for that rush of adrenaline, hoping to get a super duper rare shiny super deluxe developers edition legendary blue ice white dragon, and probably end up getting a gerbil. And they'd still manage to get that scammed off of them. Pets have turned into an easy money-making machine because it's basically gambling. And mix it in with the fact that the main demographic of these games are little tiny peanut-brained children, let's just say, that's a pretty wild concoction. The main reason why these simulators are so popular is because of the simplicity of them. Because most of the time just go, click a button, whoa, I'm level 10 now. I just need to click 10 billion trillion more times to get level 10,000 to rebirth, and do all that shit all over again. The simplicity of these games makes anyone with half a brain cell to be able to play them, and because of their low-end graphics, it enables them to be played across hundreds of low-end devices. Thankfully, the simulator craze has died down. The front page has a bit more decent games featured on it. Roblox games as a whole has evolved a lot during these past few years, and with the exponential rise of the community, people are starting to want better games on the platform. Roblox actually has recently started a Game Fund program to showcase what the game engine can do, and the games in this program have really promising progress, like Rolling Thunder and Frontlines, and they've gotten a lot of attention because of that. Not just within the Roblox community.
Why is this like actually more in-depth than Call of Duty?
I really can't wait for more of these kinds of games to be released, and it kind of gives me hope for this godforsaken platform. Also, by the way, thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. So that's like a pretty special milestone.
So to be honest, the Sims is like too simple. Like this is you, and like you have a fucking, like, for example, like you have a sword. And like you swing it, like you swing it, and then like you get like, ooh, and then like you press 1, and then like you stab, and then like that's like you have like fucking storage, like yeah, lifting, how's that storage? There's like a lot of games with that. It's like dumb. But they're dying. And I hope they die forever. Anyways, I'm gonna go.